Hello, everybody. My name is Markiplier.
Banana time. Oh looky looky, Mobius is here. That's a VIP, everyone.
Hello.
Hello there.
Ads suck, I know. Your eyeballs pay for dog's food though.
Hi. Thanks for paying for my food though. I appreciate it. How's everyone doing? I'm gonna double check and make sure that my sound stuff is good, and we'll get into it. Because the thing that happened yesterday now has me like paranoid. Oh, we're still at 100. Alright, cool.
Hello.
Hello. Oh my goodness, Mimi, you're early. Oh, it's the weekend. Doing good today. Just very tired after my dinner. Are you also a person that just stuffs full of food and is like, okay, time for bed, time for a nap? Hi, Mimi. What's the silly tail on the right? It's the scuff butt. Oh, hi, Nim. Bye, Nim. Yeah, it's the scuff butt. That's very scuff butt. Yes, first food, then nap. It's really unfortunate because apparently that's like the fastest way to put on weight is to go to sleep after eating. I don't think maintenance is going to get back to me until at least Monday. Well, if you figure out where it's leaking from, it's not too hard of a fix. Most garbage disposals just have a gasket. The bottom. Oh, like where it hooks into PVC? It's probably just the seal has degraded over time. Thank you for the pets. Yeah, it's React Day today. I'm a little tired. I stayed up probably later than I should have last night, and I still got up relatively on time, but I definitely did not. Literally the bottom where all the screws are. Oh yeah, then it's probably just a gasket. Like if you pop off all the screws on the bottom, there's probably just a rubber piece that goes all the way around that's been eroded or broken that needs to be replaced, and then it'll stop leaking. Surprisingly enough, a lot of stuff in our life is a pretty simple fix. The stuff that's difficult is like electronics bullshit. But, you know, if you don't have to pay for it, then don't pay for it. Right? If it's like, hey, the thing's happening, let's have somebody else pay to fix it. And it's like, yeah, fuck yeah. I heard the best after a good meal is a coffee or espresso since it benefits digestion in some way. Oh, that'd be interesting to look up. I know it activates or helps the body move stuff along. I need more chili in my life though, I think. Because like, I don't think I eat enough beans. I think I need to eat more beans, like good healthy beans. And chili's fucking delicious, so I figured, you know, that's the way that I can more beans. Yes, beans. More chili. You're too hot. I mean, some people would say that. I wouldn't. I love sweet chili. Yeah. Maybe I should do that. Fuck. 25. I think tonight I need to start getting meal ideas prepped for. Okay, so here's the plan. On the 1st or the 2nd, we're gonna try to shoot for the 1st. On the 1st or the 2nd, we're going to have my affiliate anniversary. And the goal for this affiliate anniversary is that we're going to have Plushie on stream, and we are going to do a cooking stream similar to Papa Mutt, where like I'm giving Plushie a list of things to pick from, and I'm going to have her pick like 2, maybe 3 things, and I'm going to get the ingredients for these things, and I'm going to make it on stream. Doggo, can I go to Artist Corner? Oh, yes. Sorry, Banana. Let me get that for you. Oh, you put it in. This is easy. Hang on. All right. Should be good. But yeah. So we should have a cooking stream on my affiliate anniversary. I do apologize, guys, ahead of time. I realized that my my affiliate anniversary is kind of going to be a little mundane and not so big and eventful this year. Just because like I haven't had time to plan it. You know what I mean? Like I haven't had a thing to do in mind. So this is what we got, and this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna do a cooking stream. Hopefully it'll be fun. You guys can hang out. You can watch me suffer and try to cook things. I should have more visibility for the desk. And yeah. So that'll be our 1 year anniversary, and I get to eat food on stream. My favorite thing, eating food. I may have thought about doing more snacks, but I was like, I should just fucking do actual food. So that's what we're gonna do. I grilled chicken today. It was delicious. Hell yeah, dude. I want to grill. I'd love to grill food. Dude, grill. Ugh. Yeah, I need a grill. Maybe once I get the small house finished, I can buy. Do you guys think they sell grills on Amazon? Oh, they probably sell charcoal grills. I don't really want a charcoal grill though, because I don't want to do the maintenance on a charcoal grill. I would rather have a propane one because they're just easier to deal with. I could be your grill friend. I get it. Hi, Fairy. I get it. Oh, that's that. Oh yeah, Hera. They do, in fact, sell propane grills on Amazon. Do they really? You'd rather have a golden retriever or a Pomeranian? Golden retriever, 100%. How do you know? I just looked. All right, now I gotta look too. Hang on. How big are they though? Propane grill. Wait, they sell full fucking sized propane grills? Oh, they sell little ones too. Wait, oh, they sell little cute portable ones. Oh, that's cool. Oh, that's actually not a bad idea. I don't think I'd want a big one. I think that would be too much of a pain in the ass to wheel around and stuff. I think the portable ones are probably where it's at. You just get like a single stand and then you put it on that and you're good. You can get anything but guns from Amazon, I believe. You know, I believe that. I know you can get a motorcycle from Amazon. My grandmother had Pomeranians that liked to terrorize me as a child. Grilling doggo stream? That'd be fun. Yeah, getting a good portable grill would probably be what I want. I don't want a big grill. Nah. I don't need a big grill. It'd be just for me. Only one portable one that I've seen so far. Hang on. There's a literal gorilla couch. Oh yeah. Yeah. You know what's really cool though? This one has actually a temperature gauge on the top, so that's kind of nifty. I wonder if there's. No, probably not. Portable for $314. Yikes. Top reviewed for build quality. Grill to go. What is this? Yes, I love the first image being two white dudes laughing at each other while their grill is in the background. That's great. I love that. Buddy, how I love looking at two white dudes laughing in front of a grill. What funny text are you gonna have on your apron in the grilling stream? My brain just immediately said bark for my buns. And I'm pretty sure that's not a thing, so we're not gonna do that. Who let the dog out to grill? That's also a great one. You should put one of his quotes. Oh god. Do I have to? Bark for buns. Bark for buns. Wait, is it the one my dad has? No, it's not. Just another fucking sheep in the herd. I wonder if I can find the one my dad got. about me thinking that shit. Because if you ever did, I don't remember it. That will be you. Okay, I don't know why I'm scrolling Amazon stream. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. I love looking at two white dudes. I just like you guys, you know the shit. Like it's a meme at this point where you go to Amazon, you look at a product, and it's just a picture of the product in a white background, and literally the second image is some horrific like Photoshop job where they took a stock image and then cut out their product and just pasted it over the stock image. Like they didn't do anything other than that. Like wearables are the worst for this. Hang on. I'm just gonna search for a watch. Ready? Audio hundreds. Fuck you. No, not that one. So I'm gonna Google smartwatch. This should be really easy. First one I click on. You ready? Is he not wearing it? He's not even wearing it.
Hello.
Yeah. Okay, so these ones aren't terrible. You ready? Okay. Like on the arm, it's obviously photoshopped in. It's obviously photoshopped in. It's obviously photoshopped in. This is what I'm talking about. Like the stock images of people where they just put the product nearby. Like this isn't even for this type of product. This is for headphones. Oh yeah, this is another great one. Oh yeah. Yeah. Anyway, that's what I mean. Oh, I had 2 slices of cheese this morning. That's why. I was wondering if my tummy is all like grumbly at me. There will probably be a time where I'll need to step away to use the restroom. I think it's because I had 2 slices of cheese instead of 1 slice of cheese, and that means I went over my cheese limit. So, I think my stomach is upset at me. Also, hi, New Day. Bye, New Day. I'll be lurking, though, so into my little corner I go. Thanks for the... No. God damn it. Thank you for the lurk, Hera. It's like the frame from an old TV spot. From those in the... Oh, the midnight... Oh, yeah, the midnight TV ads. Yeah. All right, so here's what I'm gonna do. Let's get into our React content for the day. I'm gonna try to go for shorter things, just in case my stomach gets upset. But I think maybe getting my mind off of it will help the body like calm the fuck down with it. So I'm gonna go ahead and jump into React stuff. Again, if you like React content and you want more React content, you must submit React content to the React channel. This is completely funded by you guys. So if at any point we no longer have any React content, then yep, we're gonna be skipping React Day. Okay. So Ships has a lot of stuff in here as normal. That being said, Mimi has something submitted as well, and Mimi's here right now. So let's go ahead. I'll grab this first, and we can check this out. So this is space related stuff, which is right up my alley, because I do enjoy my space stuff. Also, is this from Cruiser Card or whatever? Yeah, it is. Okay. So this is not going to be haha funny, but this is going to be interesting, to say the least. All right.
Is the universe infinite? Does it have an edge? And if so, what would you see if you went there?
Nothing. You would see nothing. Because you can't see things that are outside of where light can go. So you'd see dick all. Right, there we go.
Today, we know that
Hi,
the
Spicy.
universe had a beginning 14 billion years ago, and that it's been expanding ever since. But something that...
When are we gonna get Dog's reaction to first day, Doggo? we will never get that because my very first stream is not is nowhere, because Twitch deletes VODs after 2 weeks, and I didn't start doing VOD recording until, you know, a while into streaming. So I thank you for the pet, Spicy. The artist corner is made, by the way, in the Discord server if you want to go say hi to peeps. I'm trying to like tell people who's in it.
Well, it sort of does. Information can't travel faster than light.
Told you.
That means that we can only see parts of the universe whose light has had time to...
The master of Pokemon has entered the chat.
Hi, Arceus.
When we look
Yeah, exactly.
outwards, what we see is a sphere centered on us, the observable universe. But it gets a tad more complicated. Because the universe has been expanding, we know that the most faraway things whose light we can see are actually 45 billion light years from us right now.
So the cosmic microwave background, I believe, refers to basically it's an like the whole Big Bang theory at the center of the universe is just like, well, if the universe is expanding, it has to come from a point, essentially. Just a little far away. Yeah, just a little bit. Is this in a nutshell? Yes, it is.
So
This is Kutzer
the universe is a sphere with a radius of 45 billion light
Correct.
years.
As far as we're concerned.
Around 200 billion galaxies, each with hundreds of billions of stars. So for us, there is an edge. We're looking at the past until there is just no past left.
Yeah, so basically this is the light that is reaching us from the background radiation is the point in which everything was created. Because if you look at an explosion that starts from the center, right, as it radiates outwards, it is radiating outwards. But that outward expansion is exactly the same thing that was at the very center when it started. So the edge refers to also a place in time, which is we're seeing things, when we see things at the very edge, we're seeing things that were there when everything began.
This edge is really more like an edge in time and
Fucking told you.
In a sense, meaningless. The real universe is for sure bigger than what we can see.
I believe this is referring to potentially how far into the expanse it can go. That the universe expanding must mean it's going somewhere into something.
But how much? There are two options. Either the universe is really big but finite, or it's truly infinite.
Yes. So I have what we can call the dog, the law of dog, which in my opinion, as we understand things right now, the law of dog states that either infiniteness is real, or we can create something from nothing. Those are the two laws that need to exist in order for our existence to be explained. Because either there was legitimately nothing, absolutely nothing, and then something just happened, or we've been in a state of reincarnation or recycling for ever, literally forever. There was never a beginning.
A finite universe means that if you want to fill it with ice cream, you can do it. You need a lot of ice cream, but it is a finite amount. But that leads to a weird problem. Such a universe should have an edge, a cosmic wall.
Correct.
Where space ends.
Hello, everybody. My name is
And
Correct.
if there's an edge,
There is something that is said that it's the donut. I'm a jokes. It's the donut thing where you can travel in any direction along a donut and you'll still maintain the same plane of existence. So even though the donut is a finite shape, our existence on the donut is infinite because you can constantly go around the donut, essentially. I don't know if this is referring to that sort of theory or if this is referring to that, like, the expansion will stop and we can go to the edge at a certain point. There are two infinite things, the universe and human stupidity, but I'm unsure about the universe. That's pretty funny. I've never heard that.
Be something outside that edge. But the universe by definition is all there is.
Yeah, this one's very interesting.
So how could there be stuff outside all there is? Does the idea of something outside of everything even make sense? Except, of course, there is a physics hack. You can have a universe that has no border, but that still could be filled with a finite amount of ice cream. What if the universe is truly finite? Imagine an orange and a really tiny...
Okay, so this is gonna go over the donut thing I just told you guys about. The donut thing is a little bit different because essentially what the donut thing is, you can go in any direction. Like you can go left, right, up, down, forward, and back. This ant can only go left, right, forward, and back. It can't go up and down.
The ant can only see a small piece of the skin, just as you can only see a small chunk of the universe. But if the ant starts walking, it will eventually walk around the whole orange and be back to its starting point. So the skin of an orange is not infinite, but it doesn't have a border. The universe is not like the skin of an orange, but it could be very similar. Instead of a sphere, it could be a hypersphere, where 3D space is curled on itself. Which is impossible for your brain to visualize, unfortunately.
I believe hyperspheres are four-dimensional objects.
But the point is, no borders, no outside of the hypersphere. From our human ant perspective, our whole 3D space is like the peel of the orange. If you were aboard a spaceship flying in a straight line, you would eventually come back to Earth.
This is too complicated for my monkey brain. Okay.
The actual physics is hard.
Yeah, and as we were just 3D, we can't even start to grasp it. We kind of can if we do the shadow terminal, if we do the shadow thing of like four-dimensional objects cast a two-dimensional shadow, three-dimensional objects cast a two-dimensional shadow, and two-dimensional objects cast a one-dimensional shadow. There is a way to kind of understand it, but
it all boils down
it's
to
tough.
Gravity. The way it works is that mass creates gravity by bending space-time. This bending is the strongest where the mass is, but sort of stretches on forever, like a very mild tension in the fabric of space-time itself. This could bend the whole universe in a way where it bends back on itself.
Oh, that's interesting. So like, imagine, if you will, a better way to imagine this is that there's the super infinitely dense points that was the Big Bang sitting in space. Well, this gets weirdly complicated because black holes are the most infinitely dense objects we have, and space-time doesn't wrap around itself like that. But I do wonder if the infinitely dense, like what is more infinitely dense, a black hole or the pinpoint of where the Big Bang started? You would say the pinpoint of where the Big Bang started because it contains all of the mass that everything ever was or ever will be in a small location, which could result in space-time just being like completely wrapped around it, and when it expands space-time. That's kind of an interesting concept.
If you find this confusing, we're with you. If the universe happened,
I love it says, if you find this confusing, me explaining it.
Hypersphere, how could we find out how big it is? On Earth, we can see things disappear below the horizon, and that helps us calculate how big the Earth is.
Yeah.
Scientists tried to find some sort of universe horizon that would reveal the scale of the cosmic sphere, but didn't see anything. Which means that if the universe is a hypersphere, it needs to be so big that from our perspective, it looks like we're living on a flat surface. For this to make sense, a hyperspherical universe should be at least 1,000 times bigger than our observable part. It could be 1 trillion times bigger for all we know, but not smaller than that. Some scientists thought all of this is way too straightforward.
Yeah, so that's kind of an interesting perspective thing. We know the universe is expanding. It was measured. The question remains, where does it expand into? And counterpoint is the big crunch theory. The universe expands to a certain point, only to retract back and make another Big Bang. Yeah, the heat death of the universe and everything disappearing. But the thing is like there's still this, like, there's only a finite amount of matter. Which is the reason why I said infinity can be real was because the theory of everything collapsing back in and bouncing off of itself in another Big Bang would mean that our entire existence is cyclical. Expands, Big Bang, expands, Big Bang, expands, Big Bang, expands, Big Bang. But where did our matter come from? That's the part that is really hard for human beings to understand. And also the part that makes us probably one of the most amazing things is that we have a concept and understanding of things to the point where we can say the universe has always existed. It has never not existed. There was never a beginning. It always existed. The thing that's weird about it is that we as human beings have a concept of time. Are you the alpha dog that's going viral on Instagram? No, I am not. God, I hope not. So it's really weird. My brain was very tired until we started the video, and now it's wide awake. But yeah. So what was just explained basically in the video was when we stand on Earth, right, and we're very high up, we can see the curvature. Hi, Arctic. We can see the curvature of the planet, which means we can calculate its distance. What this was just saying is that we try to do the same in space, but because there's no observable curvature, it must be this much or bigger, essentially.
The universe could be like the frosting of a
Snoofa. Hi, there's the donut. I was waiting for that to come up.
donut, also impossible to visualize for your brain.
No, I'm pretty good.
This too means that if you travel in a straight line, you'd get back to where you started, but with fun complications. In a
Yes.
hyperdonut universe, there's not the same amount of stuff in every direction. If two spaceships fly in different directions, one could get back to the start way earlier. This also means that light from faraway galaxies would do fun and confusing stuff in a sort of cosmic Hall of Mirrors effect.
Okay, now my brain hurts.
We could see
Now my brain
faraway
hurts.
things in two places, but not just that, we would see it in different moments in time.
Oh, fuck no, dude. All right, hang on. One more time. I'm going to play this one through.
Confusing stuff in a sort of cosmic Hall of Mirrors effect. We could see faraway things in two places, but not just that, we would see it in different moments in time.
I remember this.
Its light would have taken much longer to travel in one direction than the other.
Yeah.
A star being born in front of you and see that same star die on the opposite side of the sky. How big would such a hyperdonut universe be? Well, because of its strange geometry, actually this is kind of the smallest possible universe, potentially just a few times bigger than the observable universe. But it could
Interesting.
be way, way bigger. We don't know. Okay, so much for finite universes.
But you're still expanding into it. And the weird thing about that is, like, you wouldn't have an equal expansion, because even if we were expanding in three-dimensional sphere, if our three-dimensional sphere was trying to fill a four-dimensional hyperdonut, how the fuck would the expansion be equal? It wouldn't. Because the example here is that in some space-time, you would have light traveling all the way around and then come back to you, and then in other dimensions in space-time, you would expand like you would never come back for a very long time. So that means that the universe would expand in one direction in space, in that space-time, and be done, and then have to expand in a different direction. And yeah, no.
But what if it's truly infinite and space goes on forever?
Is that a point of reference? We can never truly measure the whole one, only certain parts. The cosmic background radiation, I think, gave us the rough measurement of the diameter.
What if the universe is truly infinite? Actually, the cosmological model used by most scientists describes an infinite universe.
Yeah.
We mostly use it to calculate what happens inside our observable chunk, but if taken literally, it predicts an infinite universe.
Yeah.
An infinite universe goes on, well, forever.
It's okay,
No
Arctic.
order anywhere. Also,
Yes.
impossible to visualize. Wherever you look, you'll find more and more stuff in every possible direction. This kind of breaks our brain a bit for a few reasons. First of all, if the universe is infinite, is it also eternal and has been there forever?
Told you. Told you. Infinity or something from nothing. Because if it is infinite, and no matter where you look, there's more universe, it also means that no matter where you look, there's more mass. There's always mass, always more mass, always more things. Like, you could collect all of the things that you can see and continue to move, and there would always be more things.
Was there a time when there was nothing everywhere, and then there was something everywhere? Well, we don't know, but we have a lot of evidence for the Big Bang, so it really seems like the universe started at some point in the past. But wait, since the Big Bang, the universe has been expanding. How can an infinite thing that's everywhere become even bigger? Cosmic expansion just means that the distance between galaxies is growing with time. Even an infinite space can become bigger. Welcome to the paradoxes of infinity.
Yep.
Infinity gets much weirder though. As you travel with your spaceship in a straight line, you find new galaxies, stars and planets, new wonders, new weird stuff, probably new aliens and new life forms stranger than you could ever imagine.
Oh my god, the fucking Rick and Morty thing.
Find the most special thing in the universe, yourself. An exact copy of you watching this video right now. How can that be? Well, everything in existence is made of a finite amount.
This is the pi thing. So essentially what this is that because pi is never repeating, inside of pi, there is the binary for the entirety of your life. Somewhere within pi, there is ones and zeros, right? That will spell out your entire life, how you lived, how things went, and how you die. So the concept of this is that if infinity is really true, it also means that there are exactly the same circumstances in another location in our universe that you were in right now that produced exactly the same outcome. Every phone number's in pi, every social, yes. Does pi have pi in it? Yeah, I mean, technically, like, yeah. That's the weird part of it, is that, yeah, there could be a section of pi that just, well, no, because pi doesn't repeat itself. I think that was the thing about it. So I don't know if it contains itself. I don't think it can be self-referential, but I'm not entirely sure.
Of different particles. Can that be? Well, everything in existence is made of a finite amount of different particles, and a finite number of different particles can only be combined in a finite number of ways. That number may be so large that it feels like infinity to our brains, but it's not really. If you have finite options to build things, but infinite space that is full of things in all directions forever, then it makes sense that by pure chance, there will likely be repetition. Although, just because something is possible, doesn't mean it will actually happen. Maybe the universe goes on forever, but only the boring stuff repeats itself endlessly. Maybe there is really only one you. But if the laws of physics are the same everywhere, then far, far away, gas could have given birth to stars and planets where primitive genetic information could emerge from chemistry, which might have ended up in cells and animals.
So this is basically explaining what I told you guys, is if the universe is infinite, there's an infinite amount of times where a similar situation to what created you can happen. It's tiny, because there's the whole, like, what's it called? The chance of you existing is effectively zero because of the nature of sperm. So, like, the chance of you being the sperm that won in the race, right, was like 1 in a trillion or something like that. And then your parents being the one that won the race, and then your parents, your parents, and like so forth and so on. So the opportunity for you to exist in general is so absolutely tiny, but it still happened.
That evolved in really unlikely ways, and eventually apes that learn how to create online videos. It happened at least once, so the chance is not zero. Even if the chance of there being an exact copy of you watching this video right now is almost zero, almost
It's
zero
not.
is still a
Isn't
huge
yes.
number in an infinite universe. Unfortunately, you'll never meet, because almost zero still means the chance is incredibly small. Earth, as it exists right now, is so unlikely you'd have to travel incredibly far to find a second identical Earth. Some 10 to the 10 to the 29, a 1 followed by 100 octillions.
That is a big fucking number, dude. That is that is an insane number. Okay. 10 to the 10 to the 29. Yeah. Yeah, that's a
times the size
Yeah, that's a fucking big ass number.
observable universe. So far that it kind of means forever far away. Still, in a truly infinite universe, every combination of particles could reasonably not just occur only once, but an infinite.
Okay, so this is the part that gets really, really weird. Is that just like how pi has an infinite numbers of, so 29, 19 to 10, and then 10 of that. It's, as the way I understand it, right? 10 to the 10 to the 29, right? So the 10 to the 10, it's okay. So you take a base power of 10, right? If you put a 10 above it, it normally means 10 zeros after that, right? So that tells you how many zeros. Well, here's the thing. Ignore the base one, go up one. So you put 29 zeros, I believe. Yeah. It's 29. It's 10 with 29 zeros after it. And that 10 with 29 zeros after it is the power that affects the base one. So it's 10 to the power of 10 with 29 zeros afterwards.
Number of times. It's time to stop now. While these scenarios are possible on paper, we've entered.
So essentially what this is trying to explain is that if the universe is infinite in some capacity, it's a way of like not having other dimensions. Because we've always talked about how like, oh, there's a you out there somewhere who, you know, at this point sneezed, right? Fuck. And what that is basically saying is that somewhere in the infinite expanse of the universe, everything happened exactly as it did on Earth, except in that one, that weird pollen thing made it through your air conditioner unit and into your nose. So really fucking big number. Yes.
Currently, none of these ideas are testable or provable. If the universe is infinite, we will never know.
Correct.
The reality is, for us, the universe is finite and has an edge. And we can see the edge in time. Everything we can interact with is within the observable universe, and most likely, this will stay true forever. Even if this finite universe feels small to you, it's more than big enough to fulfill all the dreams that we and our descendants can ever come up with. Infinitely enough for all of us.
Well, you say that, but what about time travel?
While we can't be sure whether the universe is infinite, many fascinating questions do have
I love this channel. It's so good. It's very satisfying. I saw a banana. Yeah. I just like science philosophy. It's great for a moment, and then it just hurts my brain cells in the long run. It's, yeah, it is definitely. It needs to exist because it needs to give birth to ideas that humans may not have considered at some point. Yeah, if everything is infinite and has always had been, then all the mass has always been. Yeah. So like, there's a probability that us existing in the way that we do now happened again with something slightly different. But because of infinite is a gigantic number, it is almost guaranteed to have happened, and in different ways. We'll get rid of that. Is this the base? Is this the original one? I guess we're doing a space thing now. I guess we're on space today.
452,000 kilometers until destination.
Dude, space is cool. Space! If the universe is infinite, would there be a species that does not have to procreate? Yes. That's the weird philosophical thing, is that if space is infinite, anything you ask is a yes. So the weird droning sound that you hear is strange from a perspective of, I understand that there is no sound in space, so why is there sound in space? What was the first one? Beyond the Edge? I think so. I deleted it. Hang on. The Paradox of an Infinite Universe. What's the name?
Inbound 197 degrees aft port side. What the f is that? Target heading direct.
What is at the top? Is that the top of the spaceship? Oh, it is.
What the f is that?
That's a fish!
Directly towards the Pegasus. Fired in the warning shot.
Thanks, I want to rewatch it later. Yeah, absolutely. Holy shit, that thing's moving quick.
Our plasma
Ew.
cannons cannot seem to penetrate the target's armor, suggesting calling for backup. Fuck that. They won't be here for hours.
Pew pew pew. Pew pew pew.
Pegasus hull integrity at 84%. Communication with McKenna has been lost.
Well, that's unfortunate. Space Whale? Yeah, it's by the same dude. So this is very interesting because in my mind, it depends on the mass of the object, whether or not you can apply that force, because law of Newton's third law, I think. Oh no, is it baby fit? Oh no, it's baby fish. Oh, is that our cargo? That's very unfortunate.
Plotting emergency evacuation course towards Earth.
Well, yeah. Is it bigger than the moon or smaller than the moon? Okay, see, here's where perspective shit gets weird. Because, like, right here, when it goes through this ship, right? We know how big the ship is roughly. It's about, like, one of those cargo pods is about the size of the ship that we're in right now, and the size of the ship that we're in is about, I think, 4 lengths, human lengths long. So then it goes through the ship, and then we look behind and then this thing is now behind the moon. So it could be a second one. But now this one is bigger than the moon.
Error. Unable to plot escape course. There is no conceivable way out of this situation. Goodbye.
Goodbye. Do you not have thrusters? Can you not just go left or right? Ah, yes. Okay, it was bigger. That's God is bored. That's freaky as shit. Fun though. Adult fish. Yeah, I think so. I think it was an adult fish. Okay. It's me. Yeah, it was a weird perspective. Hi, Chips. All right. All right, let me start cleaning up backlogs of stuff. This was from... Okay, I'm just gonna remove stuff that was over a month old.
Chips, please not the spray bottle again.
I'm not gonna do that one. Oh no, you're fine, Chips. Hi, Fox. Okay, hang on. I want to see this video. So Chip says, reminded me of you with this one. So I want to know what the fuck. Ah. Damn you, tungsten ball.
Peggle week day 2. There might even be Peggle this time. It could happen.
I hope that you can control yourself
Oh, this guy. I think I've seen this guy before. Hi, Piranha.
today and there are no more shenanigans, and you'll actually stream Peggle.
Hi, Doug. I just want to let you know I hope there's no shenanigans today on stream. I have an idea. What if you can only type messages that have been said before? Okay, every time you write a message,
Oh. Hey, it uses Python and VS Code too, just like me.
if it's already
So you have a 1% chance. So I'm gonna read this off. So he's got commands.bot. Okay. So this is just processing the message. Users equal join character user message if it's not a digit. Okay, so this is just user messages without numbers in it. If the user message is an all message, then you can send it. If it's not, then you have a 1% chance of making it legal and adding the message, else you get banned. Okay, that seems straightforward enough. Would you rather have 1,000 of cockroaches that love you and would do anything for you, or the fluffiest, cutest dog in the world that hate? Oh, dude, the cockroaches, 100%. Oh, you don't tell them to go die, dude. You just tell them what like quarters look like, and unleash them on New York City.
been said by somebody and it's safe, then you're good. If what you're saying is a new message, this is the first time it's been said, then you have a 1 in 100 chance of the message being allowed now. So every time you see somebody in green, that means they've successfully added the message and is not banned. Now everybody else is able to use that. So you guys have to sacrifice yourselves in order to build a dictionary of messages that you can actually say. Does that make sense? No. 1 in 500. You get a 1 in 500 chance.
That is way too low.
Adding a new message into the list of legal messages. A lot of people will die, but that's a risk Doug is willing to take. I am willing to make the sacrifice of hundreds of your lives. This is gonna...
It's gonna be a lot more than 100, I can tell you that much.
Kill a lot of people.
If you think about it, you could get the cockroach to inhabit a dog and control it from the inside. I mean, maybe. Wait, that script bans you if you write a message someone else has already written? No. So the script is basically... If somebody else says a message that has already been... If you try to send a message that's already been sent, you're fine. If you try to send a message that hasn't been sent, there's a 1 in 500 chance of it being fine, else you get banned. Or not banned. Something happens, I don't know.
Ready, set.
The Twitch chat eliminator is now activated.
Okay, nothing's allowed so far. Somebody got a message in. Which one was it? It wasn't rigged.
Slick.
Somebody got Slick in. Slick's allowed now. So if you want to not get banned, you can always say Slick. This is now the worst Twitch chat of all time. Let's do a push for 07. If we really coordinate on... Oh, somebody got A! A is now officially in the words. The 2 words that Twitch chat is allowed to say are A and Slick. But as a reminder, there's a 1 in 500 chance that any other word will get added to the allowed list. Just most of the time it'll ban you.
The amount of times rigged has been denied is undeniable proof Doug has rigged against Twitch chat.
It's shocking that it hasn't been allowed yet. Okay, look, I think we gotta coordinate on a word. I'm tired of just seeing Slick and A in the chat. Is there any other word we can coordinate on?
I don't think it's actually banning people, because if you had that many people get banned, your chat would just disappear.
I mean, a
So
lot of people want to.
that reminds me of you when you do coding. That's fair. Jesus Christ, dude.
Oh, rigged is loud. Okay, you got rigged in there. Congratulations.
Doug, I appreciate your knack for genocide, but maybe we could lower the odds just a bit.
How did we
Like
get
1/250?
No, too late now. Clearly it works fine. You got womb and slick in. Hold on. Rigged womb doesn't work. I guess I could have written the code. You can only say the message womb or rigged. It can't be both. If you're upset about that, you are now able to type rigged without getting banned.
Did you fuck up the code with that? Hang on.
You get a
Oh, you did. Because you just added the message. Right. Yeah, because oh yeah, you did fuck up. You basically needed to take out or look for each word. You'd have to iterate through all of the words in the message and make sure they're all in the all messages and then make it legal. Oh yeah. Yeah, getting that to be correct is kind of fucked up. Because like essentially okay, so here's why this is not gonna work. Oh, bye, do now. I just mean the message doesn't go through. Yeah, correct. He bans, I think, for 2 weeks. Yeah, that's a lot of bans. So in order for this to work, if you send something in like big brained and it got approved, then the message is big brained, right? But big and brained are not added. If big goes in and then brained goes in, those messages get added to the list. But if you send a message that is big brained, literally the word big brained, then it can snipe you, because even though big is in and brained is in, it's not looking for each word in your message and seeing if it's allowed. It's just working to see if your message is allowed. So yeah, it would be a lot more complicated to get that fixed.
A is now officially in the words. The 2 words that Twitch
Oh my god, Doug, I love this guy.
allowed to say are A and slick. But as a reminder, there's a 1 in 500 chance that any other word will get added to the allowed list. How many people have been? Like 2,000, jeez. I do think this is probably the worst conversation that we've ever had on this channel, which is saying something.
I think it'd be funny if we got the word kumquat unbanned.
This is how we're going to determine the best fruit of all time. Until 1 fruit is allowed, everybody must type a fruit. Go. The instant we see a fruit, it goes green. That means that's...
Someone said a fruit.
How do I write messages? We've lost so many people and didn't get a single fruit. Really? Not a... Okay, whatever. I'm gonna just alert me if a fruit happens. I guess I'll just go here. And then go there. What? Come on. There we go. Still no fruit. Somebody went for Doug's prostate. That didn't work.
We have had
The fact that he saw that is crazy.
the 6th word for like 10 minutes now, but nobody knows what it is.
That's really funny. I can't believe that nobody's gotten a fruit yet. And there is some mysterious 6th message you can write.
The new word is a sick rigged womb versus the older slick rigged womb. I'm assuming people misspelled it that much, haha.
That is hilarious. Holy shit.
The math is exactly correct, basically. About 1 in 500 of the messages have been accepted. Okay. Quick 5-minute coding adventure.
Combined with
It's
voice
almost
attached,
time
you
for
can only-
Dog's hourly payment using your eyeballs.
I love that he uses ChatGPT. I have a set of legal strings in Python. I also have an input string. I want to make a function that returns a string every word of the input string. Yeah, so basically doing what I've said.
Us ban, or vice versa. You reset.
That's such a good idea. I'm writing that down. Okay, we'll do that in a future Peggle stream. So, here's what is going on. There is a list of legal...
I think I've seen this guy before. Yeah, I have to.
If you say a message that contains legal words, you're good. If you don't, there's a 1 in 200 chance that whatever you said gets...
Yeah, see? There you go. So basically what he's doing now is he's cutting the message into all of the words by splitting, which is just splits on all the white spaces, right? And then it goes through all of the words in the new words, adds them together, right?
Added into the list of legal words, and now people can use those, but most of the time you're going to get banned for an hour. Any questions?
Banned for an hour, okay.
Okay, let's see if this, what happens.
The Twitch chat eliminator is now activated.
Okay, those are the legal words. So it should update whenever you get a new word. You got squirt. Somebody
Pretty slick squirt. Jesus Christ, dude.
got squirted. Great job.
I'm gonna go eat now too. Have a fun stream. Bye. Have a good night, Franzi.
What would happen if I claimed Walmart as my business on Google Maps?
That would be pretty squirt. Whoa, what?
Holy shit. What the fuck happened here? Thank you for your pets. What the fuck happened here?
On Google Maps.
That would be pretty squirt.
I think I shall sacrifice myself. Doug is bald and bad at deplatformers. Luigi pump forever. Damn.
Whoa, what happened? You got so many new ones. Did you get bad at 2D platformers? God damn it. Sacrifice for Luigi pump. You guys need to collectively decide what you're willing to sacrifice for. Luigi shall squirt.
I love this. Is a great idea, dude. This is actually such a based idea. Also, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, V. That is big brain right there. That is big brain, because if you get all of the letters in, then people can spell out with spaces whatever they want.
They're the dumbest people I know. Like, I'm an adult man. I shouldn't laugh at things like that.
What do you mean we are the dumbest people? You're not a part of this community.
you want to gatekeep?
That's funny.
I think we're the dumbest smart people I know. I love you, Doug. First time watching the stream live. Well, sorry. You are banned for an hour. Doug is bad at frog platformers. I'm actually quite good at frog platformers. Thank you very much. Donkey Kong Country has a frog level.
Doug, first time catching stream. Chat will hate me for this, but you're pretty good at 2D platformers.
Yeah!
This won't get me banned, right?
Ooh, that's awkward. Yeah, no, you're out of there. I haven't seen new ones in a long time. I think people are too excited about Luigi Squirt. Also,
Jesus Christ, dude. I can't with fucking Twitch chat, man.
Answer me. Can somebody sacrifice himself to get yes and no so we can at least have a conversation? I don't feel like we can converse right now. I need to be able to ask questions. Okay, we got no. We got no. Hey, we have yes. Okay, great stuff. Doug's sick at pump. Can we get Peggle in there?
I think we should work together to get Burgundy allowed. Burgundy forever.
Look, for you to get a word added, you have to convince 100 people to lay down their lives to potentially get your word
200.
added. Is the color
Even the one on TTS, yes.
super broadly appealing to Twitch chat? Maybe. You have to be like, calling to arms, lovers of the color burgundy. Give up your lives so that the future generations may discuss burgundy. We won't be able to because we'll be banned.
This is my last message. Burgundy is an amazing shade of red.
All right.
I believe it is worth the time and effort to get Burgundy added to the list.
Wait, what the fuck was that message?
All right.
I believe it is worth the time.
I squirt myself. Eye is moist. Jesus Christ.
Time and effort to get Burgundy added to the list. Wait, who said Burgundy's nuts? Come on, chat. We need our emotes. Lay down your lives for glory.
Yeah, you guys don't currently have any emotes that you can use, I don't think. Burgundy is yes. Oh, you added burgundy!
Squirt, 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 squirt.
Don't...
Doug is bald. Doug is frog.
Doug is bald. Doug is frog.
Can everyone spam point crow? I really need to be able to say point crow squirt yes Doug squirt no.
No. Don't do that. Don't listen to that guy. A lot of people are gonna die trying to get point crow. Okay, somebody got point crow added.
Amazing. Fucking amazing.
Point crow is now a legal word.
Wait, hang on, what is this?
Die trying to get point crow. Okay, somebody got point crow added. Point crow is now...
Point crow is frog. Point crow squirt Doug. Point crow squirt yes. D Luigi Burgundy point crow yes. Oh, Jesus Christ.
Taken out back, but you must carry on. To say dumb shit, to spam juvenile jokes and weird words, even at the risk of death. That is the purpose of a chatter. That is who we are.
Don't make it an epic sort of life mission to spam juvenile shit. Who got Douglas in but spelled wrong? How does that even happen?
Wait, what? Oh my god, they did. They spelled it D-O-U-G-L-U-S. Jesus Christ.
Spell Douglas, right? In the meantime, I am ripping mega ass over here. This is
Also, this edit here.
juvenile shit. Who got Douglas in but spelled
Look
wrong?
at his shirt.
How does that even happen? You guys do know that's
That is a fantastic edit, by the way.
not how you spell Douglas.
Why is this chat? It's just the situation.
Mega ass over here. This is by far the best deathless run I've done. Can I get some pogs in chat? Just a pog. I need people to go sacrifice themselves for pog and pog champ. No. Give me pog. I want pog. All I'm asking is for 150 50 of you to sacrifice yourself needlessly so that other people can say Pog. This is for the future generations of chatters who want to say Pog when I do the...
Dude, how many fucking viewers does he have that he could actually do this and ban people for an hour and it's fine?
Hundreds of deaths around you deter you from jumping out of the trenches and charging at the machine. You have to charge at the ban bot and hold Pog up in the air and be the one to break through the lines. Oh, we got Pog. Wait, we got POG. You know what? Fine. It doesn't do a cool emote, but at least you guys have some way to express that you think I'm doing a good job.
Hey Doug, long-time viewer. Shit. First time divorced. My wife won the car, kids, house, and my wigs, but I kept the Twitch subscription. So who is the loser now, Karen?
Yo, you kept the Twitch subscription in the divorce. You really
Jesus Christ.
Wait, divorce isn't legal? Nobody's gotten divorced yet? That's crazy.
Point crucial squirt in Douglas.
Okay, all right. Resist the temptation to say things that are
His average is like 5K? God damn.
aggressively immature.
I would rather die in glory running at the machine guns so my children and their children could pog and cat jam and chat.
Yes.
Ads suck, I know. Your eyeballs pay for dog's food though.
Thanks for paying for my food. I appreciate it.
Spouting squirt Luigi and moist Doug.
Thank you. You can get emotes back for chat.
I'm back from being banned from the first round of culling. The stream has been wonderful thus far and I will see you again in 1 hour.
I'll see you in an hour. Guys, if you run out of the trenches and you charge the machine gun to get Pog for the group, you'll come back to life in an hour. We still don't have Pog. Wait, we have Pog now?
Yeah, you have Pog. You've had Pog.
Nice job. You got Pog.
Tyrant Doug, my life is hereby forfeit, but we shall fight, kill and die for our sacred right to mesothelioma.
Oh my god.
A couple of you need to run out of the trenches for the emotes. Oh, you got Cat Jam. Couple hundred people at the
Hey, let's go, Cat Jam.
dance to the music.
Anything other than coffee by Super Sister and we riot.
I know I should because I paid for it, but it mutes the stream.
We deserve coffee for our sacrifice, please.
Okay, if you guys unlock coffee, I will play it. All right, coffee, you got it. Can we get all the lyrics? We need I like my man like I like my coffee.
Am I gonna get DMCA'd for this on my VOD? Nah, fuck it, who cares?
Run out of the trenches. We must unlock the words.
I like men squirt.
Jesus Christ, they came out of fucking nowhere.
Get the word parks are unbanned so I can finally write my Doug X Point Crow X Parks the squirting fanfic in the chat, thanks.
No.
Hey Doug, it's my first stream, so excited to be able to talk during stream.
Well, this is awkward.
Who got? Oh, yeah, there's something in there. I have no idea.
Don't 07 me. It's not over. I have 3 balls. I can do this. Let's go. New prediction is up. Does Doug beat Peggle Deathless?
They got W, F, P, and C, and G, and J, and D, M, M, and H, and X, and B. Wait, did they actually get the... Wait, did they actually get A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V? I think they did. I think they did.
All in on believing, I will eat my CPU with salsa if you scuff this.
I assume most people are interested in watching Peggle at this point. This is the shot. Ah! Let's go! I am fucking insane. 1 more level's left. Hold your dicks.
Damn, he peggling.
You know, I don't have the energy right now to dissuade you from saying squirt jokes. Not good.
Oh, that's really not good.
Doug, show Peggle what it means to truly peg.
This is a peg or be peg moment.
Not the...
Ball bucket. All right, just fucking do it. Yes. Got him fucking nuts. And time. Congratulations, Doug. Congratulations, you did it. Doug. 55 levels, no deaths. Let's go, bitches. So many people.
That's pretty good.
Banned. Fuck this shit got banned. Somebody just said, why are people getting banned? We lost.
That is hilarious.
850 viewers.
Peggle.
Themselves that you guys could have these legal words. So now please use them to give a victory message.
4,861.
Doug like.
Jesus Christ.
Never been able to say such incredible things without the sacrifices of our fallen Twitch brethren.
That was actually an amazing, like, that was just cool. Honestly, straight up, that was really cool. Like, that's some of that fun shit that you can do as a programmer. And now 5,000 people got shot. Some people more than once. It is really cool to be able to like have a big enough audience that you can do shit like that. He does shit like he does that. Oh, that makes sense. It seems really really fun. It seems really fun. I don't know if I could do that though. Like, cause I don't know if I can get that many good ideas. Not the design, but the attitude. What makes a good male VTuber? Oh no. Oh god, what the fuck is this?
Okay, we have a totally separate question. Lev said, I found your content through the YouTube algorithm a few days ago. Very helpful. Was wondering what kinds of male VTuber or PNG tuber characters tend to resonate the most with a male audience. Oh, I'm open to all viewers, just aiming for something that doesn't turn guys away.
So there's a bit of a problem with this. Can you turn it up, please? Oh, is it quiet?
I don't think it's that.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Jesus Christ. Yeah, thank you. I didn't realize I still had that turned down. I'm sorry about that, guys. But yeah, so this one is it is quiet. Yeah, I just saw. I had it turned down yesterday because of guitar stuff with the game going. So the problem, there's a big problem with the whole male VTubers in the VTuber space, and honestly, it's just because that there's no sizable male audience that wants to watch male VTubers. You know, a lot of the male audience want to watch female VTubers because they find more comfort in their streams, or because they feel like they can be more enticed that way.
I mean, just do something you think is cool, and then there's a high chance other dudes are gonna be like, yeah, hell yeah, that's cool. I think doing anything.
These are just gonna be cop-out answers. And I don't mean that in a bad way. I mean that in a do something unique, do something that you think is fun, do something that like only you can do something that you like doing or you enjoy doing or you can be passionate about, blah 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 blah. Fucking same old song and story that everyone else has been told forever in the history of man when it comes to entertainment. You either need to be a trend setter or a trend follower. If you are a trend follower, you are more likely to get a sustainable audience, though smaller. If you are a trend setter, you are more likely to get a much bigger audience and bigger growth. The fact of the matter is, how do you want to do this? Do you want to be like every other male VTuber? Or do you want to be different and still possibly fail?
Thing that's specifically to bait women in might make them look at that and be like, this isn't, I don't think this is for me. You know?
Correct.
But I don't think the visuals of it matter as much as just the way you act and what kind of content you make.
People vastly underestimate the presentation of a VTuber because, okay, let me put it this way. What do you think is more likely to happen? Somebody saying that they watch me and then looking at my design, or somebody saying they watch like Fifi and looking at her design? Like, there's a lot of people that just straight up don't want to admit to watching certain VTubers in the normie sphere because they don't want to be judged for the type of characters they enjoy watching. And that, I believe, plays a pretty big role in the stagnation of VTubing, is that people don't want to admit to the type of people they're watching. So that still holds true with male VTubers. If you're going to behave or look a certain way where people aren't comfortable telling their friends that they watch you because they don't want to be judged, they're not going to tell their friends that they watch you because they don't want to be judged.
So I don't think it matters that much. Yeah, look at Aethel. Yeah, Aethel was just like, yeah, I like medieval shit. I'm going to be Lord Aethelstan. And then he's got like a cape that's made of a pelt or something. Like, you know, it's just shit that he thinks is cool. I think that's a good way to do it. Just do shit you think is cool. Yeah, male presenting nips, yeah, stuff like that is a bit much. And if you have a design where something looks a bit sexual, but the overall feeling is this just looks cool, I don't think anyone cares. I don't think anyone cares. Because there are a lot of fighting game characters that are like titties out. These dudes are like ripped, crazy, shirt off. But dudes still like the character because they look cool. Okay? That's it. That's really like,
that's fair.
It boils down to that. So I think when it comes to like really specific design details, you don't need to worry about them so much. You just want to look at it and be like, I really like this.
Broly from DZ. Yeah, that caught my eye too.
A lot of that kind of like specific stuff you don't want to think about too much. I don't know. I would say look at a lot of like game characters that.
Okay, so thoughts. What if I just rebrand into that one dude from Dark Souls 3? I just get a shit ton of armor, and I'm just like, I don't talk anymore. I just grunt. I don't say anything. Thoughts?
Or characters from anime too that like historically have a lot of male fans, and you can just look
like
at
Goblin
that and be
Slayer.
Like, okay, well then this is all fine too, right? I mean, honestly, any kind of VTuber model.
Goblin Slayer VTuber,
like
let's go.
Appeal to dudes. The thing to do is to actually not worry about aesthetics so much, because I think on average now.
I like Oshi and his gay little moo.
I think on average most dudes kind of don't care about that much. So don't go complex. Don't try to shove some like insane design in front of them and make them care about every little thing. Just be like, I'm a cool guy.
And that's not just for male VTubers either, in my opinion. Female VTubers, y'all need to calm the fuck down. You don't all need to be galactic princesses from hell with a billion fucking details about all of your intricate lore crazy nonsense. Like, having a cohesive design that is readable is going to always be better than having a design where, and I'm not joking, you look like you are covered in egg, thrown into powdered sugar, then thrown into sprinkles, and then thrown into glitter, and then put on the front page. It's just too much shit.
Here's my cool guy design. There you go. I think simpler is better. If you want like a male audience to enjoy you, not get turned away the moment they look at your model, just keep it simpler, honestly. To be honest. More abs equals better. More abs, better person.
It's not a face, Delta. I'm a princess. Oh, shut up, Chips.
Ugh.
You know you're not a princess.
I feel like is the right way to say it. Yeah. I just do something like, I mean, dudes look at a character like Ness and they're like, hell yeah, that's Ness. Love that guy. Love that son of a bitch, you know? And he's just a kid in a t-shirt. You got Ryu. They're like, oh my god, he's so cool. You know what he is? A guy.
The problem with this specifically is that she's talking about characters that have established history and talking about characters more specifically from video games, which is also people like interacting and using the character, right? Like, okay, so a great example of this is imagine your favorite character to play from Overwatch or from any hero shooter, and then imagine them, but you don't get to play them anymore. I don't really care about Genji as a character. I like Genji because I like the playstyle Genji has. If Hanzo literally had the same thing, or if Tracer literally had the same thing, or if anyone else in the game literally had the same thing, I would probably still just enjoy the playstyle. There's conflation between people liking the characters and people liking the playstyle of the characters and then getting attached to the characters because they played it so frequently, right? So getting a good character design in entertainment is different for different mediums like games or videos, right? People get attached to characters from anime because they get to hear the story, they get to see the story, they get to know about the character, they get to do all like the cool shit, right? That's why they get attached to them. But if you just put 6 different designs in front of somebody and said nothing about the designs, yeah, people are going to be really picky about the ones that they like. So you kind of do need to worry about your overall aesthetic, because that is what people are going to see long before they hear anything about your history.
With like a gi on, which like everyone wears when doing certain types of martial arts. He's a guy, you know, like nothing crazy.
Thank you for the super love.
You could go and be like fucking, let's use fighting game characters. Like Street Fighter characters. Now, here's the thing. I think another thing to look at that's really good is wrestling. Okay, now not necessarily modern wrestling, but maybe some of the older stuff. Specifically, let's look at a character that looks almost like a wrestler, but is from Street Fighter, and I think anyone can get behind. Any dude can get behind this. All right,
Let's
this
see
is
if
a
she pulls
design I
up.
think everyone can get behind. Are you ready? M. Bison. Okay. Hear me out. Hear me out. That's a bad dude. Ooh. What do you get from this design?
This is, again, a problem. Because, man, I'm glad I am what I am, because I do genuinely feel like I am, when it comes to art, I am just, sometimes I feel like I'm really on the ball. Right? This is not design. The design is not selling this. This is pose, lighting, and the facial creation. The color of his clothing, the type of clothing that he wears, the insignia on the clothing, the shoulder pauldrons, the hat, none of that, which is the design of the character, is giving off the vibes. The vibes are coming from the specific pose and lighting that they chose for this imagery. So, like, yeah, you're gonna be like, he's big, evil, overbearing, like whatever. And it's like, no, that's because that's what the pose is showing you. That is what the artist specifically put them in to show you that. But if you turn his face completely emotionless, if you put him in a T pose, he's just a big dude in a red outfit. Like Mobius said. So that is where a lot of people need to understand that there is a difference between design of the character and how a character is used, right? So the design of this character is relatively mundane. How he's being used in this artistic piece is very good.
Nothing. This guy's cool and strong. Right?
I mean, strong, technically,
He's
yes.
cool and strong, and he's kind of a bad dude. He's got a hat. They have some militaristic elements, right? His uniform is very much just a standard old military uniform of just a long coat, matching color fabric pants, some cool boots.
I wonder if it would look better in black pants.
They gave him pauldrons because they could. And then
Pauldrons are cool.
everything about this design.
Okay, pauldrons are cool. I don't know if that's just because shoulder armor is badass and it accentuates male figure design, like male figures, big shoulders, big pauldrons, bigger shoulders sort of thing. But like, pauldrons are cool.
Design that stands out is not really about the design. It's about how they pose him. And it's about his attitude.
On the ball. Good job.
That stands out. Good. And then everything about this design that stands out is not really about the design. It's about how they pose him. And it's about his attitude. And this I think is exactly what I think about VTubers, okay?
Oh, hats
The
are
model
silly.
could
Yeah.
look as cool or whatever as it can look. It's the person that will shine through however they shine through. It's their attitude, right? It's the way the model's pose is showing his personality, right?
Yeah.
The voice lines that you get from him.
Nice guy.
That's what makes you like really, really notice. And this is what makes dudes be like,
It's
that guy's
presentation.
so cool. Because if you
Yeah,
had a
yeah,
picture
exactly.
of M. Bison, but he's just
How you doing, Sky?
T-posing, and he has no facial expression, it's just like a 3D character model.
Yeah. That's literally what I was saying. Like, that is the design of the character, which is, I guess that's what her point is that the design can be really basic, but if it's presented in a really cool way, then it's fine.
Standing there, you'd be like,
Off the next one.
I guess his outfit's all right. Pretty cool. I don't really know what he's about though, you know, but no, they pose him, they give him really cool voice lines, whatever. So yeah, I would say
Good fighting games are honestly great for studying effective character design and expression. I also want you guys to be aware character design also comes down to silhouette. Just by the way. There's oh God, I'm gonna see if I can find it. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna see if I can Google it. There's I don't know if I can see. I'm looking for an image because I thought it was an image. But let's see. Okay. So we're kind of just going with a bit of a AI overview on this one a bit. Because this, I think this kind of falls in line with what I was taught when it comes to character designs, right? So in character design, in specific order, this is what human beings, hi Ali, this is what human beings tend to notice. So the very first one is the silhouette, which is how the character is, right? Is it a cartoon character? Is it an anime character? Is it a realistic character? Is it like a 3D character? Is like, what is it, right? So that's the first thing that we tend to see is a silhouette. And that is one of, if not the most important concept in character design, is having consistent silhouette between characters if you're doing a series, or having a noticeable specific silhouette to your character that can be carried even when your character is blacked out, right? I pulled all night last night, very tired, woke up, it's 2:30 in the afternoon. Yeah, I went to bed pretty late. Proportions and scale, obviously this kind of has to do with the silhouette, but the difference is that, like, if you picture a silhouette of a character and then you see the color within the black, if you have really long arms and really long legs and really short torso, that's what you're going to notice next, right? And then there's others, and then you start getting into the actual things, the facial features or the expressions on it, the way they're being posed, and then you get to specific details. So you notice the silhouette, the facial features, and the body language before you even get close to noticing the ring or the jacket or like the specifics of the actual design. And too many people focus on this in the VTuber space when they're doing their character design, and not enough people focus on this and this, the silhouette and the body language. You always need to work on silhouette first, and then you can work on your facial feature next, and then body language. Like, this is the order in which basically should be important to you. Your details and shit aren't really the most important when it comes to good character design. Because, like, if you look at this, right? This is actually a fantastic example. So if I blacked out this character and blacked out her character, right? You would notice the outline around the character first. Like, this is how your eyes work. This is how your brain works. So you notice the outline first. You notice the outline first. The second thing you notice is big head, little body. Big body, little head. Right? That is how we see things. And then we're looking at face. And then we're looking at colors. And then we're looking at details, right? So we see the outside. We see the proportions. Then we see the face. And that is just how our brains order the design, which is what is really important when we're making them.
Yeah, I would say, like, do what you like. Keep it a little simpler. His whole thing, he's like red, right? He's red, and I'm a bad dude because I have cool poses. This is really like all you get from him.
And that being said, is my design is relatively simple. My dog 2.0, the primary color scheme is black, white, and blue. That's my color scheme. That's it. For like Giga, there's blue, gold, black with red on it, right? And then on top of that, like the different elements of my 2.0 design, there are some parts of him that are really basic. because it doesn't need to be detailed. Because if it was detailed, it would pull your eyes away from the parts that are detailed. I was very specific in my design because I wanted things to be, I wanted the eyes to flow correctly while looking at my character.
Enough to build off of. What if he was slouching instead? Yeah, if he was gunching, you'd be like, ew, this guy doesn't look confident. He's gunching, right? It's the presentation, man. But yeah, I would say if you want to go for like a character design for a model, go simpler to start. And you could add detail over time, but don't come up with a concept instantly and then tell an artist, I need you to fit this crazy concept. Don't do that. Just like pick 2 things that you really want to stick to and then have them make that more detailed. So if you're like,
so this is a really good point, and this is what I did with mine. So I went to my artist with the concept of he's a dog, and as a dog, he helps people because I help people, right? So what that means is that I want something that can symbolize how many times or who he's helped, and I want something that symbolizes that he is a dog, right? And those were the main selling points. Those were the big points. And that is what the design is based around. Because you have too many things, if there's too much stuff, there's not enough, like, it's okay, the great way to put this is, if you eat a stew with 3 ingredients, you know what that stew should taste like, and and you're either going to like the stew or not like the stew. If you make a stew with like 10 ingredients, it's not consistent enough. There's too much stuff. It doesn't have a specific voice.
yeah, something where I want the clothing vibe to be a little more like military, like M. Bison, you know, and I really like the color red, and I like some elements of armor somehow here and there. Then they could be like, okay, and they could make something that looks like that, right? You could be like, hey, I love wuxia.
I'm hungry now. I'm sorry, Sky.
And I really like Wukong, and I would love to just have those folds that he wears in the big balloon pants. I don't care about anything else. I just want that. And they could be like, okay, and they build a whole outfit off of it, a whole design off of it, you know? So pick like one thing, whether it's a vibe or like one clothing item that's important to you, and then there you go.
My chat's always hungry. I swear, I always end up making you guys hungry.
I asked this at the meet and greet, and they were like, what, like, how did you start building that outfit? Like, what was the starting point for your...
So the amazing thing about outfits, honestly, is that like, it's all your artist, dude. Like, you can have the general concept of it. I want armor. I want thing that go between legs. I want high heels that are thigh highs. Like, you can have the general idea, but ultimately the artist is the person that says the shape. This is rounder. This is sharper. This is longer. This is thinner. Coming up with outfit ideas is kind of amazing.
Artist, what did you tell them? They were like, did you ask?
You keep using food as a metaphor, man.
I was like, no, actually, I told them I really wanted to wear those exact pants. I was like, you know, riding pants for horses where they have like these equestrian pants that are white and they tend to have like these kinds of buttons. The waistline is here. I really want an outfit with pants like that. What would fit that? that was the starting point, was the pants.
Oh, that's kind of interesting. So basically it was like, I want to wear this, what works around it.
Pants.
Yeah,
I was like,
that's
I want
cool.
an outfit with these pants. What do we do? And then there were so many ideas of like what kind of outfit you could build off of that. And then we went with this, and I was sending references to the artist, and I was like, what if we go this direction or that direction? We sent a whole bunch of references. But yeah, no,
yes.
It was actually built off of the pants. So I think that's one way you could do it too, right? Just build off of that. You're saying it could have been a horse girl outfit. No, I'm gonna be honest, like jockey outfits like that are kind of, I think they're kind of frumpy, like that preppy.
Yeah.
The blazer and the stupid little hat. I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan of those. No, I'm good. Are you a real fan?
Are you a real fan? Yeah, I mean, ultimately, I have kind of no notes with this. It's pretty on point. Your design needs, honestly, yeah, VTuber designs need to be specific and simple, because if people need to be able to look at you and be like, oh, you're a dog and you're this themed, right? I think it's pretty well known that my yeah, I'm pretty sure it's well known that my 2.0 thing is going to be like kind of based around space. or have like astral influence. So that was a part of the design that I wanted to go into. That's it. It's relatively simple. He looks great. I love my design. And I'm working with my ref artist to kind of get the general feel down. But he's going to be he's going to be very comfy. I'm going to say that. His design is comfy, sort of around like astrology, not astrology, but like space stuff. And just like cozy, you know, kind of welcoming, kind of just relaxing, and like, because yeah, I could be very excitable, and yeah, I can, you know, be whatever, like with some people, and with other people, I tend to move around in my personality quite a bit, but ultimately I'm never really jarring. I try to not be very like angsty or angry unless it's rivals, not Overwatch, but I wanted the outfit to reflect how I feel I appear on stream, which for the most part is pretty chilled out, pretty uneventful, nice and like inviting. And that's what I wanted to go for. And I think we did a pretty good job. I think my design artist and I did a pretty good job together. But yeah, doggo with space elements. Space. Casual ruined normals. Oh no. Okay. Okay, so this is something I think that Chips sent in about people complaining that casual gaming is ruining normal gaming. 1.4 million views, dude, and it has 19,000. What is this? Look at this. 19,000 views for somebody who has almost 1.5 million subs. What does he normally post then? $8,000 views, 4,000 views, 14,000 views, 24. Oh, dude, this guy fell off hard. Like, hard. Yikes. So let's go check out his popular ones. Let's see how long ago they were. So 3 years ago, 8 years, okay. 8 years ago, 5 years ago, 6 years ago, 11 years ago, 12 years ago, 9 years ago, 6 years ago. So basically this dude popped off like 6 to 10 years ago, and people subbed for it. And I guess don't give a shit about him anymore. That's tough, dude. That sucks. That sucks.
Hey guys, Drifter here. I've been feeling a lot better lately, and I've had a lot more energy to go out and do more things. And I've been putting some of that extra energy into playing Warzone more regularly.
Also, I should clarify, as a fellow content creator, I feel for the guy. I hope he's doing okay. Like, I hope he didn't make a life around his subscriber count. But that's really unfortunate. That is the nature of content, baby.
Because the original Warzone, Call of Duty Verdansk, in 2020 was one of my favorite Call of Duty experiences of the last decade.
Dude, can I get some more fucking pixels? Like, I'm at, what the fuck am I at? I'm at 1080p, 60 FPS, and I literally can't make out any of, it's just a red fucking smear, dude. Ooh, all right, good to know. It's literally just a red smear.
Was, for me, at least a lot more interesting than regular multiplayer.
No, dog, I heard you like pixels. Like, it's bad. was he streaming? Did he take, like, did he just record, like, did he take his stream recording and put it on YouTube? Like, there is no, like, look at this. There's like no information here. It's just up. It's, here's some gray stuff. Here's some black stuff. Yeah, there it is. Itch.
So I was really excited to kind of try to get back into the swing of things, to kind of pick up where I left off, hop right back in, and have a good time with Verdansk. But Verdansk just isn't quite the same as it used to be. Much in the way that you can't put the genie back in the bottle or close Pandora's box, the community can't unlearn the modern aggressive tactics that streamers like myself have employed for a very long time.
So he is a streamer. So yeah, this is probably pulled from stream, which is why this dirt on the lens is literally just a slightly gray smear, and this smoke has about like 4 colors in it.
Gameplay may be mostly the same, but the players have evolved. I noticed in my games that almost everyone is playing much more aggressively than they used to. There's a lot of trophy system on vehicle pushes, helicopter uses, UAVs going off all the time.
So this is a very good example of the things that I like to talk about, which is the best time to play a game is when it's first launched and everyone doesn't know what they're doing. I legitimately, if it's a PvP game, the best time to ever play a PvP game is when no one knows what they're doing and there's no abusive systems yet. There's no meta.
Everybody's fighting over contracts and trying to finish them quickly to get their loadouts. Teams are very fast about finishing their downs, and the mode feels very sweaty. And about finishing their downs, and the mode feels very.
You want to talk about that one?
Very sweaty.
We were watching a stream reacting to a video that comes from a stream.
And I thought it was just time at play here, and it is to some extent because I've been out of it for a bit. But I actually think that Warzone Casual Mode made this problem much worse. So today we're going to talk all about Warzone's casual problem. But before we get into that, I wanted to give a quick shout out to my sponsor, Logitech G. So you get access to the full map, full loadouts, full everything that normal mode has. It's just that the competition is significantly easier until the final few circles when it's mostly people then. Initially, it seemed like this was a good idea. The casual mode lets players have a place to experiment and learn the ropes of the game. It's also a great mode to go to test out loadouts in a live environment if the firing range just isn't doing it for you. It's fun for people to play that are just super casual and don't have.
And here I am watching Doggo at 160p.
An interest in getting much better. And
if you're only here to hear me, I mean, might as well, right? It's whatever.
Warzone Casuals is for grad students who just don't have time to keep up with the meta but still want to get some games in. And there's a lot to like about this mode, which is why I initially praised it upon launch, but I did not foresee the impact that casual mode would have on regular Warzone. The main problem here is that the mode ultimately segmented the player base by skill level. Now 100% of the casual players only play casual mode.
Okay, is that bad? Wait, what bot? I actually... I don't actually think that was a bot. You know what it is? You got I know what it is. So your message got deleted by the AI moderator because the AI moderator couldn't determine whether or not the joke was a legitimate joke or you actually hawking wares. Yeah. So I do have an AI bot that just kind of like sits in the background and just reads all the messages. It's more of a context-based bot where like it determines whether or not the context of a messages fit within certain realms and then gets rid of them. So like Yes, you managed to quote unquote trick the bot into deleting your message.
Which means the more competitive players and the ranked grinders are the only ones left in normals right now.
Okay, so what we're talking about with this one is basically the casual players decided that they didn't want to play Warzone normal anymore and went to Warzone casual. And I feel like complaining about players moving to the casual game mode because they are casuals is like complaining that people went to McDonald's to get a McMuffin. It exists to provide that service, which means that what you are doing, or what you're like, what normal service you're providing, people don't want anymore. They want to go do the thing that they want, you know? Oh, space?
Only ones left in normals right now. Ranked helps segment that too, and we're going to talk about it a little bit later in the video. But for now, we're just focusing on normal, unranked Verdansk experience. The only players left in normals are going to be significantly more competitive than they were in the past, and honestly, even more competitive than they were in the immediate past in the last.
So this sounds like there's a player base for casuals that don't really want to take the game seriously, which is good. There's a player base for ranked who take the game seriously, which is good. And then there's a player base for what I call ranked anxiety, which are the people who want to take the game seriously but don't want to play ranked.
Last iteration of Warzone before Verdansk came out. The end result is that normal Warzone just got noticeably more competitive. So to me, normals feels a lot like hard mode. That means if I want to have a casual experience, I have to do so in casual mode. And
yes, because that's why it exists. Because if you want to have a casual, if you haven't had a casual game, now you have a place to do it. So complaining that you can't have a casual game without going to the casual game mode is like complaining you can't eat Italian food without going to Olive Garden.
Mostly fight bots. I can't have a normal or casual experience without the bots. I can't have that experience with real people.
Yeah, exactly.
Anymore. And this is a sticky point for me personally because I do not enjoy killing bots at all. We talked about this in the marathon.
I think, okay, and thank you for the follow. I also do think that this is coming from a standpoint of people just really fucking hate matchmaking. Like, if everyone is going to play casuals, then I think that that should be an indication that the overall matchmaking in normals is not fun for people. How many chicken nuggets should I eat next year? Last year, I ate 64. I'm going for 70 this year. It's in 1 hour. How many nuggets in an hour? Well, 1 per minute will get you 60. So in my opinion, you should just buy a shit ton of nuggets and eat it for dinner every day of the week. Because then you can make the nuggets last.
On video, and in the Arc Raiders video, in my old Destiny video, and even if you want to go all the way back in time to my original Titanfall 1 review, I was very adamant that the game would be better off without the AI bots on the ground, but Microsoft just had a huge fixation with their cloud servers and letting the AI be run by cloud, but whatever, anyway. Titanfall 1 was the game where they first normalized having AI players on the battlefield, and my opinion about not...
Yeah, but the AI in Titanfall 1 was like very clearly AI. They were moving in packs. They were strutting around at like half the speed of, or a quarter of the speed of the pilots. Like it's like, I feel like this is like, at least with the Titanfall reference, I feel like this is like complaining about AI in like MOBA games. Like, oh, I gotta kill minions. I don't want to kill minions. It's like, what? It was kind of a part of the game. Like, you did it to control the flow of the game. That's why it existed.
Liking that hasn't changed very much since then. At the end of the day, I get absolutely zero satisfaction out of killing the AI. It just doesn't do it for me. And I don't even know what's wrong with me because everybody else seems to enjoy this.
It's because you can't hold the value of you as a player above another player. Like, let me put it this way. If you were a chess player and you played the hardest AI chess bot in the world and you won, you'd feel pretty fucking good about yourself because you beat an AI that was probably better than the best chess player in the world, right? You're not going to feel bad. If you're going against bots that are some of the best, like have the skill expression of some of the best people in Warzone, you're not going to feel bad about killing bots because if you don't, you're going to get your shit rolled. It's not about whether or not you enjoy killing bots. It's whether or not you feel like you get to tell other people, I took on extreme mode bots and beat it. There's no bragging rights. There's no, I get to be better than another human being.
Everybody else seems very content to load into a game and kill bots that don't really fight back. I just don't think that's the kind of power fantasy that I was looking for in a Call of Duty game. On this topic, I also struggle with a significant number of single-player games because they don't feel adequately challenging. And by that, I don't mean unreasonable scenarios where the enemy's health scales way up and your damage scales way down, or where you have to use the fire-type Pokemon on the grass.
Yeah, this is another great example about like single-player games. It would be a quick play warrior, 100%. This does... I agree with this standpoint that like some single-player games literally just go, enemy damage go up, enemy health go up, player health go down. So that's not a difficulty. You know what a difficulty change is? Giving the bosses new movesets, right? Like you should make a really hard boss, right? And then in normal difficulty, you take away some of its moves, and then in easy difficulty, you take away some of its moves. So that when people play the new difficulty, they actually experience new content, which is the boss doing new moves, which is fine. And then this is exactly one of the reasons why I kind of struggle a little bit with Monster Hunter, because the harder content in Monster Hunter, they don't get new moves, they just spam their strong ones more. But they don't get anything new, they don't get any new expressions, they don't get any, they're not fucking different in any way. They haven't evolved their intelligence to fight you and keep their distance more, or in a way that feels like the same game but different. It's legitimately every single fucking game is if hard HP equal plus 25%, bullet damage plus 10%. Like it's
type, or when they throw an unreasonable amount of enemies, like hundreds or thousands of enemies my way for me to slaughter, or a boss that's like a titan with all these superpowers or whatever. For whatever reason, I don't like that. I might have liked that when I was a kid. There's nothing wrong with single player games. They can be fun sometimes. But the moment I got online and started games, they can be fun sometimes. But the moment I got online and started interacting with real people, the satisfaction of killing bots just completely disappeared. I only had interest in hunting humans. I like to hunt down human enemy opponents of varying skill levels and intelligences that are doing their best job to try to stay alive. For some reason,
that was not your stream, by the way, guys. That was this video.
People is always more fun for me, even if I'm not particularly good at it. And I got to be real, I'm not particularly good at games anymore.
It's doing a lag.
But I would rather lose 10 times in a row and then finally kill a real person than I would kill 10 bots.
This is kind of tough because this comes down to what it feels like to play the game, right? This comes down to what it is like when you lose, because everyone talks about I'd rather lose, I'd rather this, I'd rather that, yada. And it's like, well, are we talking about getting your fucking nuts stomped on losses, or are we talking about like, damn, it was a 50-50 and we just flipped wrong? Because that's what matchmaking has been in control of for like the last decade. of basically going, wow, you did really good, time to get your nuts stomped on. And it's like, that's not fun. I'm not enjoying that. That's fucking annoying.
And then kill one.
And that's why I feel like a lot of people are going into the casual mode, is because against bots, there is no matchmaking. There's no stomping of nuts to happen.
Person, or die to a person even. Like, killing the bots is less satisfying for me than just dying a bunch of times to real people. And I'm in a real pickle here because I'm clearly not good enough for normal mode anymore now that the casuals have been pulled out of it. It's almost like the community is doing skill-based matchmaking, but on a voluntary basis. Or maybe it's a more community-friendly skill-based matchmaking problem, because all of the normal and lower-skilled players are now in casual mode, which I personally, as we discussed, don't find to be very fun.
The thing is, you're also at least halfway competent at the game, right? Do people not understand that there are people who play video games that have never played video games before? That a video game needs to be somebody's first video game, whether they're 8, 18, or 80. Like, something needs to be there first. And if you think it's fair for somebody who has no game experience to go into matches where they just get absolutely fucking stomped because everything is a fucking free-to-play game and everyone likes making alt accounts and running around and stomping on people, you're out of your goddamn mind. Having bots in general makes games more accessible to the people who really actually genuinely cannot play against even bad players. If it's a close loss, I don't mind. If it's me getting steamrolled or doing rolling, it's not fun. Yeah, exactly. Talking about monsters, have you seen the AI bosses, AI boss monster NVIDIA did for an MMO? I think that could be interesting for you. No, I don't think I did.
All of the players on the higher end of the skill level of normal and up to all the way to being very competitive, are in regular mode practicing for ranked, or they're already in ranked, just hyper sweating and grinding and doing their thing. So to compare to skill-based matchmaking, the community often complains that they don't like the algorithm because it removes the variety in their games, the variety in their enemies.
Which I think is a very fair point, because that's how I felt when SPMM got more prevalent. Essentially, what felt like had happened was sometimes I get a game where I stomp, sometimes I get a game where I get stomped, sometimes it's 50-50. And when you leave it up to chance, you know, a lot of the time, there is a lot of variety in the games, which can be nice.
Want to get stuck playing only in that bracket over and over again until the end of time, because with the implementation of skill matching, gone were the days of some lobbies being easy and some being hard and some just being kind of normal. They're whatever the game thinks your normal should be all the time. And I think that a good analogy can be made to Battle Royale games, because out of 150 players, you should have a mix of different skill levels. Ideally, you should have about a third of them be casual or below average in skill, bumbling around the map, learning the ropes, stuff.
Okay. But when do those players get to be the top players? When do the players that aren't really that good at the game get to be the ones that win? Hey, spoiler, they don't. They don't. So you end up alienating and ostracizing the people who are bad at video games, because you're always using them as fodder for the people who are mediocre or good at video games, because you can't find a match for them to win. So the people who are super chill and just want to play and who aren't really good never get to win any battle royales. They never get to win anything because they're just not high enough to be in the average bracket where the matchmaker can give them a win. So that you end up in a situation where all of these players are like, well, I don't want to play that game anymore because I played 20 games and never won one. I played for 6 hours and didn't win. I didn't get a single chicken dinner. I didn't get a single, like, first rank spot. Right? So what happens? Well, they stop fucking playing. So what happens? The skill floor of your matches go up.
For dogs hourly payment using your
so now,
eyeballs.
instead of getting these really easy fodder kills, well, now they have to match people into your game that aren't as skillless because they don't exist anymore. So now now players in the lower to the average area are now just getting harder games because the only people they could kill have left the game. Now they're constantly fighting against people of their own skill level or skill level higher than them. And some people are okay with that. And some people stick around, but then some people leave. And you end up in this situation of a constant player trickling out with not enough people coming back in. Because the people who come in go, wow, this sucks. And the people who have been playing go, I haven't got a good game where I got to be really good and stomp other people in like days. I don't want to play this anymore. It's what happens.
Like that. Another third of them should be normal, such that that's your average expectation for an engagement. And the last chunk of people are inevitably going to be more competitive, so you have a chance to roll up on some demons. What this means for me as a player is that in any given match, I'm likely to be able to take down a casual team, coin toss on the normal team as my skills are challenged, and then near the end, if I live that long, I get the opportunity to face down some demons that are more powerful than me.
And like I said, the problem with this is that those demons get to do that in every single fucking game. In every single game they play, they always get to make it to the top 10, and then the people that you're just shitting on never get to make it there. You actually straight up can't balance it. The only way to balance it is everyone on the map is the same skill level.
And see if I've learned anything, push myself a little bit. It's really fun. Since Verdansk is Battle Royale, some of that's inevitably going to be random. Sometimes you'll just land on a really sweaty squad and get annihilated. Other times, you're the sweaty squad that landed on a player that's more casual than yourself, and the cycle kind of goes and goes around, but it does average out over many games to a more fun experience. What's kind of happening right now is that the experience is only fighting competitive players, like only really competitive players are still left in Verdansk. I also briefly wanted to talk about how this game has evolved, and very importantly, how it's lost its survival magic. In my humble opinion, Battle Royale games...
And I think, honestly, people need to understand it's not always that games were better at launch, it's that players were worse at launch. Everyone who was playing Rivals when it first came out had an amazing time. Because everything that was fighting in Rivals, where everyone were kind of bumbling around, they didn't really know what to do, they weren't sure what their skills did, they didn't know how to do team up combos, yada yada yada, right? Everyone had a great time. It was very casual friendly, because even the pro players were kind of like trying to figure out what was going on, and it was nice. And that happens in almost every PvP game. And every single PvP game that's get launched, the start of the game where people don't know anything is the best part of the game. We can never go back. If you took the launch of a game and just did we're going back to the launch patch, people are gonna be like, wow, this is not nearly as fun as I remember it to be. And it's like, well, yeah, no shit, because it's not about the guns, it's not about the characters, it's not about any of that shit. It's about who knows what they're doing now, and it doesn't matter that everything went back to what it was. You get into a match and you still have people who've been playing the game for fucking 8 months now, who know how to optimize everything in the game, and you get shit on. Yeah, everyone is learning how to walk. That's when PvP games are the most fun.
Games should reward the last person alive and not the one who has the most kills, because the magic of these games isn't having a big map and
no. See, you can't do that, because Apex tried doing that, and the entire fucking rank system just went to people hiding in corners. And finding glitched locations where you couldn't see them. We've tried that. It doesn't work. Everyone just hides and hides and hides and hides. And then the third to second last ring, it fucking explodes. And you know what happens? If you die first, even if you made it to the third or second to last ring, you get nothing. Because you were still one of the first squads eliminated. It's just every squad was sitting in a corner the entire game. That's not fun. The game isn't about surviving. The game is about shooting people. That's why it's called a first-person shooter. That is why it's not a survival game. This is not Minecraft.
Lots of people to hunt down for a high score. The Battle Royale magic always worked best with a mix of hunting and survival. The survival element of the game is a little bit more like survival horror. As a lower skilled player, you're constantly avoiding the better players so they don't wipe you. You're being conservative with your resources because you're not going to be able to harvest a lot, sneaking everywhere, hoarding medicines, and just trying to rat your way into the final circle. But it's a really emotionally intense and difficult kind of process.
And this is probably my bias speaking. If you've been in my chat for more than fucking 3 or 4 months, you know I have a bias against battle royales in that running around looting shit, getting into one engagement and dying means that you got to play the game for all of about 4 minutes, which is the actual shooting people part, and the rest of it was just bullshit hitting a button on weapon models and hitting a button on icons and hitting a button on like you're not actually fucking doing anything.
And that's one of the things that made early PUBG so amazing early on. It was all sorts of gamers coming together of varying skill levels and experiences, and they're all trying these bizarre tactics. It was wild, wacky, unpredictable, and even...
So you're saying that the launch of a game where people were learning it for the first time was the best part of the game.
Casual gamers did have some degree of fun trying to survive. But as the streamers started...
You can make a clicker game out of it, yeah.
At school over and over again and putting themselves through what is essentially a PUBG combat-oriented boot camp, the game suddenly lost its even playing field, and it lost its emphasis on survival.
Yeah, because people got really good at the game and started stomping on people who didn't get really good at the game.
And swapped over to who can get the most kills, and then PUBG got a lot more fun for me. This isn't unique to PUBG. Call of Duty Verdansk went through a very similar cycle, and then it was very new.
And this is exactly what I'm talking about right here. Hang on.
Around a lot more. And typically, the older a battle royale game is, the more solved it is as a game and more oriented toward high kill games. That's a topic that's complex enough that I'm probably going to need to talk about it at a different time in a different video. But the older the battle royale game, I'm probably going to need to talk about high kill games. That's a topic.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And then 12, 1, 2, 3, 4. So there was a solid like 70 or 80 seconds where this player literally didn't do anything. Oh, hi Oculus, bye Oculus.
Game and more oriented toward high kill games. But the older the battle royale game gets, it does tend to get more aggressive. So the main problem here is that the variety has been robbed from me and likely from many of you as well, but I do want to add some caveats to this criticism in order to maintain fairness. First, I'm so old, I literally remember seeing Reagan on TV and grew up with rotary phones.
All right, yeah, that's fair.
I'm also very out of practice because due to my disabilities, I can't grind Warzone for 4 hours a day like I used to.
Also fair.
And then third, everybody else has had several years of practice and the meta has evolved to just be more aggressive. So coming back to Warzone does present a mismatch for me in that I'm much worse than I used to be. But on the flip side, my competition is also much better than they used to be. And unfortunately, I don't feel that I have the opportunity to practice or get better because I can play normals or ranked and mostly get smashed. I guess that is a sort of school of hard knocks, jump into the pit and figure it out, which I could do if I had time for it, which would be lovely. And there's some people in casual mode as well that are a bit more difficult to take down, but I don't find the casual mode experience to be that overall satisfying. It really should be satisfying.
I still think given enough time, people are gonna start sweating in casual. Because of course they're gonna fucking sweat in casual, dude. You have a bad couple of games in your normal games, you're gonna be like, dude, fuck it, I'm gonna go to casual and I just want to beat up on some bots. That's gonna happen probably more often than you would expect.
It should be perfect for a boomer gamer like myself who needs a bit more of a casual experience, but I'm mentally cursed in that killing bots just puts me to sleep. So what do? Well, I don't have a clear answer for this conundrum. but I did just want to point out that Warzone basically has voluntary skill-based matchmaking now. Normals is an entirely reasonable mode for people to use to practice their skills and warm up for Ranked. Ranked is where all the sweat should be, and begrudgingly, I admit that the casual mode is still probably a good thing and a net positive for the game. At the end of the day, the gripe is somewhat more unique to me because of my issue with bots. I think a lot of the truly casual players just don't care, and they get a lot of benefit out of the mode. So I'm not sure what to say about this other than I guess I'm just going to have to get good and get better, get more used to whatever sweaty environment is left in this game, because that's...
I mean, Call of Duty has always kind of been sweaty. I'm not gonna lie. Which is kind of funny. But, yeah, honestly, this entire video is a nothing burger. This video boils this down to Warzone casual is ruining normals, and it goes to, like, all of the people who I used to shit on, or all of the people I used to fight, are now no longer in the game mode that I play. They're in the easier game mode. Now I have to deal with people being better. That's what this is. This is literally complaining about the people who I used to be able to shit on are now no longer playing the game mode I play, and now I just need to deal with the super sweaty people. And it's like, well, yeah. Because the people who left were the people who were sick and tired of getting shit on. So, like, oh well. Yeah. Yeah, I got some opinions on that one. You now have to deal with people like you. Exactly. Fucking exactly. Let's see. That's not that. Where is it? There it is. Okay, let me go and remove this. Oh, I gotta sneeze. There it is. All right. What do we got? We are not employees of the Shoujo's thing. You know what? Well, actually, I'm kind of vibing with Call of Duty right now. Let's do Art of the Remake.
Virtually every game franchise.
Damn, this guy's presentation is so much better. The last video was just talking head. Like, he sat down in front of a microphone, spoke for 10 minutes, and then turned it off and uploaded it to YouTube. Getting this is just like a breath of fresh air when it comes into terms of like content editing.
Has at least something in it with that dreaded RE prefix. From small map remakes, single-player remasters, complete reboots, the rare revival, or even complete re-releases of the exact same game every year for the last decade.
Yeah. Welcome to the gaming industry.
Oh, you know what? Actually, I take that one back. This year they did a different one. Still waiting on
That's pretty fucking funny, though, not gonna lie.
the game they announced 8 fucking years ago, though.
Alright, so I have some fucking opinions on this. Why? Why? Because you literally, like, you fucking have nothing. You know what this is? This, oh my god, I swear if this is it. Okay, I am telling you guys right now, if Elder Scrolls 6 releases in an Unreal Engine, I'm boycotting the game. Straight up. I'm literally not gonna fucking play it because I am sick of Unreal Engine. However, there was no point to doing this. You put the Elder Scrolls 6 on a backdrop of a camera moving through a fucking environment with a castle in the background and then just literally did nothing for 8 years. Not only did you do nothing for 8 years, when you dropped this, you hadn't even started working on this game. You were working on Starfield. So, what the fuck?
But I'm a Call of Duty guy, okay? I don't like it. I didn't choose this. It just sort of happened, okay? It's like a Harry Potter house or a star sign. And
not entirely true. I used to be a Call of Duty kid, and then I picked up Battlefield.
Call of Duty multiplayer specifically is interesting to me because it's actually mastered all of the different disciplines of the art of the remake over the years.
Is this one removal? That would be so funny.
First, we've got the standard remaster. And my first experience with them in COD was back in the original MW2. Now,
oh,
back
hell
in
yeah.
the day, this was
Terminal.
actually only the 6th mainline.
Yes. So, what did you guys play? What did you guys play? Okay. I played Call of Duty 3. I think it was my earliest, and I may have played Call of Duty 2, but I don't believe so. Okay, so do you guys want to understand like why I don't give a shit about World War games? This is why. World War game, World War game, World War game, modern game, World War game, modern game. Like, when I started getting into this, World War games were fucking everywhere. They were everywhere. And we finally got a break from it. And we didn't even get that much of a break of it because Treyarch was like, oh, not World at War. Oh, let's do Black Ops then. And I was like, okay, so it's still like 60 fucking years ago. I just want my modern shooters, dude. Not enough World War I games in the mainstream. I don't want any of them.
Call of Duty title, and the first 3 of those,
but I do agree a lot of the World War games are normally World War II
games were a little all over the place in terms of level design, so there really wasn't much of a deep bench to pull from if the game wanted just a quick little nostalgia boost, resulting in them bringing back the iconic foursome of Vacant, Crash, Strike, and Overgrown.
Crash was a good map. Vacant was hit or miss. Overgrown was a good map. Strike was more hit or miss.
From Call of Duty.
Go to sleep. Oh, good night, Arctic. Thanks for hanging out. I appreciate it.
Which at the time was only 2 years old. Which look.
When did? Is it 11 years? No, 11/11? 2011. 14 years? This year in November, 14 years. So 13 years. So, okay. All right. You guys want to... I want to put some shit into perspective for you guys. Okay? You are 5. You are 5 years old. You aren't even in fucking the schooling system yet. You are still at home. Recently just got like, oh, maybe not recently, but potty training, learning fucking words. You're 5 years old. All right. And Skyrim comes out. All right. You're 5 years old and Skyrim comes out. I want you to understand that you would be going into school, completing elementary, completing middle school, and would now be graduating high school, and there still would not be a new Elder Scrolls game. That is how fucking old Elder Scrolls 5 is. That is how old Skyrim is. If you were 5 years old when that game launched, you would be leaving high school this year, and you still would not have seen another Elder Scrolls game. There is this thing in the gaming industry of like one big game per like school career. Like Grand Theft Auto did it. The Elder Scrolls did it. Fucking, oh god, what other games did it? I mean StarCraft did it. Like there's this thing in the industry now where the games are taking 5 to 10 years between releases. Half-Life is doing it. Yeah, exactly.
Back feels a little odd.
So it's kind of funny that like 2 years is baby mode, and I'm like, oh fuck, dude, yeah, 2 years kind of is baby mode. You want to know why? Because if 2 years, right, every other year for a game, you'd only have 2 game releases from the time you entered high school to the time you would leave high school. You'd have 2 game releases.
That would be like if Season 4 of Black Ops 6 introduced Greenberg Hotel as its remaster for the season. Like, that just feels odd, you know? And I don't think that's something that COD would really ever do again. Overall, though, these were widely liked by the community. Yeah. And a big part of that were because these maps were perfect one-to-one remasters of the original maps.
Which is the way you should fucking do it.
Just with better lighting and slightly better graphics. And if you're asking yourself right now, which is the original,
the one on the left,
and which is the remake,
dude, come on. No. You're not fucking selling this point. You can literally see the shadows on this one and no shadows on this one. Like, it's fucking night and day, dude.
I forgot to label my files when I downloaded them, so your guess is as good as mine, dude. But at some point, the devs got tired of the old Control-C, Control-V shuffle and wanted to mix it up a bit. And this would be the second category
I know it's hyperbole.
Map remakes that I call...
Just the container above the waist-high wall looks so much better, yeah.
Remasters with a twist, where they're technically the...
Oh, ew. Okay, the original Call of Duty 4 map on the left, that was a fucking shit show of a map, dude. That was Sniper Spirit. I mean, this map right here was kind of just a worse version of Crossfire. It really was, because like this entire building was open and this entire building was open. So like, you would run around the edges here. You'd never go in these buildings or in the middle because you just get shot by a sniper.
Same map.
It was death in the middle. Oh, 100%. Because if you're in this building on the right-hand side, you're getting shot from this building. And if you're in this building and you're trying to leave, you're getting shot from this building. Like I remember like old school or some tricks that you could do to get like up on the upper parts or something like that, which was really funny. Because you would have people get like a gun or whatever and then because like in old school mode, you had a higher jump. So you could get to areas you couldn't normally get to if you had time. It was really fun.
But they have a certain level of distinction between them that makes each one
it's Epcot,
their own. For instance, the original Black Ops series liked to transport their old maps into completely new settings, like moving firing range to transport them.
This is really pretty. This I like. Because it is crystal fucking clear. This is crystal clear, right? Look at these colors and how they pop. You could see everything. And then you have shit like this. You know what I mean? Like the blue wash filter, the gray filter,
their own.
And then even the reference map it came from was still super desaturated. Like, yeah, it's pretty shiny, but this is what we should be striving for if we're going to be doing competitive games where clarity of enemy models is key. This feels good. Like, I wouldn't mind running around here shooting things because I know the darker camouflage or whatever are going to stick out, and I'm like, okay, I can see things. You know what I mean? I would like to fight in something like this. And some games are in this style. Some games are in this style.
Like moving firing range into a movie studio's backlot with completely new set pieces referencing popular movies like Jurassic Park, Godzilla, and the 2002 hit film The Adventures of Pluto Nash starring Eddie Murphy. Or there's Black Ops 1's Hazard.
I feel like I've seen that, but I don't remember.
Takes the World at War map Cliffside and turns it.
Whoa.
Or there's Black Ops 1's Hazard, which takes...
This was a DLC map, wasn't it?
The World at War map Cliffside and turns it...
I remember playing this map on Black Ops 1, dude, and I fucking hated it. I fucking hated it. I hated this map, dude.
Into a golf course. And actually, now that I'm thinking about it, I think last year's Grow House falls into this category too, because it's the same exact layout as Sphere from Vanguard, but they just teleported it to a universe where Snoop Dogg was the anchor being. But then there's the remakes that do the opposite. They keep the setting, but change the layout. Think Crash from Modern Warfare 2019, adding extra flanking routes where there weren't any.
Oh, fuck no. No, because this was supposed to be a safe spot. By design, this area was supposed to be a safe spot. This fucking blows. This actually, because you could just fucking camp here in corner and fucking head glitch this area.
Or Vanguard's version of Castle with
I love having extra routes to flank my buddies.
newly added destructible environment.
See, this one depends, because if you could already shoot through these things and kill people on the other side, it's not that bad. It just makes it easier to see.
Modern Warfare 2023's sub base finally teaching our operators how to swim. These are probably closest by definition to the actual term remake, where devs are essentially just trying to make a new version, addressing notes and feedback.
Yeah, that's fair.
You know, USS Texas _ final _ V3 dash no actually final for real this time _ with doors because why the fuck not .mp4. And to be honest, there's
I love that he was renaming an image file to a .mp4.
just too many of these for my
Imagine a hand menacingly raising with a gun for the water. Dude, Call of Duty could be super cinematic sometimes.
small brain and weak arms to really count, because this category makes up almost every single remake to release on the new engine. From Backlot removing the basement in 2019 to Kill House removing the tower for 20.
No way, dude. Fuck off. You removed one of the most iconic things about this fucking map. Why? That's so dumb.
2019, or even Vacant adding a second building back in 2019. 19, or even Vacant adding a second.
This is okay. This is fine.
Building back.
I miss when they added the Hatsune Miku to Call of Duty. Oh god, I believe they did. I think they did that something. Yeah.
You know, I'm starting to sense a pattern, and then there's remakes that do both. They both change the setting and update the layout.
Oh god, the shipment thing, yeah.
Best example.
Oh, Rust. That's kind of interesting.
Of this would probably be like Excess in Infinite Warfare, which is a remake of Rust, but moved into a future setting, and then getting a couple new areas and different scaling.
No, you lost me. Because the beauty of Rust was just the fact that it was small meat grinder of a map.
To accommodate the advanced movement of that era. Now,
is Call of Duty a gacha game? Not entirely. They have the elements.
You may have noticed that I've been
I missed that tower,
avoiding a certain elephant, or more accurately, cockroach in the room so far. And that's because
they've gotten remakes, remasters, redos, re-this, re-that.
I think that this map falls into its own category that I'm dubbing staple maps. These are maps that at this point are pretty much
loot boxes. Well, loot boxes doesn't make it a gacha game. Gacha games are, I believe, are more around collecting characters. So think more like Overwatch, where if you could only get the characters through loot boxes, essentially.
Much expected at least once every 2 to 3 years, that being your shipments and your nuke towns. And I've talked at length about how these teeny tiny maps are like candy, and having too much of them leads to a certain type of rot. But honestly, like in my heart of hearts,
you know why we like shipment and why we liked fucking Nuketown? Because you spawn and you immediately start playing the game. You're immediately shooting people, and then you die and you spawn and you're immediately playing the game again.
I kind of like the idea of these maps at least existing.
Okay.
Like, I don't know, it's kind of fun having a map like Nuketown that follows the player and the series as it grows. It's there for the good times.
Oh wait, can you just see the thing in the background? Look at this fucking fence.
Player and the series as it grows. It's there for the good.
Supply drops were awful. I think supply drops actually got me to stop playing Call of Duty. Oh, okay. One of my favorite details, which I wish they would do more in other games, was the fucking RCXD out of bounds thing. That was the coolest gimmick of Nuketown, where you could take an RCXD, drive it outside of the map and its own little course, and then go in on the other side of the map into the back line and blow somebody up. That was so much fun.
Times, it's there for the bad times, and it's there for the weird times. But in the end, they're a lot like family. You know that no matter what, they will always be there for you. You just...
I think multiple maps did that in Black Ops 1. I believe you're correct, yes.
Wish
just iconic with Nuketown.
That you could see them a little bit less often. And now we're going to be getting into some obscure territory to talk about the next type of remake that I call quiet remakes. And these are maps that aren't directly advertised to even be remakes.
That was fun. It was like an Easter egg in Nuketown. Yeah, exactly.
Aren't too forthcoming about borrowing elements or sometimes entire layout.
Hey, look, guys, it's solar panels. I'm gonna have that soon. How many are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
From other maps, usually from a game in BC times. In that instance, this stands for before COD 4, when nobody wrote things down, obviously. The most recent example is the map Tarak, back in Modern Warfare 22, which is a reimagining of the COD 1 map, Newville. Or...
Wait, did Call of Duty Modern Warfare, or did Call of Duty 1 have multiplayer? Do you guys know if Call of Duty 1 and 2 had multiplayer?
At least so I'm told, because...
Oh, I need to be in circle mode for that to work.
Apparently, they delisted COD Classic a few months ago, and it turns out I didn't have it downloaded, so I can't personally go in and check. I'm purely trusting the internet here. That has never led me astray. Don't worry. Then, back in 2019, of all places, you also had Suldell Harbor, which was a quiet remake of Just Harbor from COD 1 as well, which is...
I think it did on PC.
Explains why everybody played that map like an aging World War II veteran. And I actually didn't know this until someone...
Is this Wasteland in Modern Warfare 2 being a remake?
Pointed it out in the comments of one of my other videos, but Modern Warfare 2's Wasteland was also actually a quiet remake. It was based off of the map Brecourt from classic Call of Duty as well. But the distinction here is that in all of these circumstances, they weren't directly marketed as map remakes, but just ordinary original maps, because... You know, let's be honest. Anyone who played Newville back in the day wasn't still around for Tarak.
Very true.
Like that's a complete generational shift. I also very recently just learned that the map Chinatown from COD 4 shares a layout with Carentan, and I just never.
Oh wow.
Noticed. Both of these maps have been remade a few times since then, and it just right over my head. I just never even realized.
Also hated Chinatown.
Now I don't know if that one really is a quiet remake or not, because I wasn't around when Chinatown came out. I'm not sure if they advertised it as such, but anyway, I just thought that was interesting. I didn't know.
No, they did not.
Did you know that? Have you been keeping things from me? Then there's also a handful.
No, Chinatown was never marketed as a remake. All of the DLC for that game were all marketed as original maps.
Full of maps that take certain elements from older maps, but remix them into their own setting and layout, with the most famous recent example being Palaio's Lighthouse in MW22, incorporating the living room from Estate. But there's also lesser known ones in that same game.
Yeah.
Like Farm 18, containing a building from the classic Pavlov, or MW3's first war map being built on top of Kandor Hideout, Crossfire, and Countdown.
Oh my god, Countdown.
Being
Wait,
built
Crossfire?
on top of Kandor Hideout, Crossfire.
Oh, it is Crossfire. Oh, wow. So also, fun fact, by the way, I think they already mentioned this in a different video, but a lot of the multiplayer maps literally are just single player maps that got cut up. Like they didn't make anything original between the two, really. They either made multiplayer maps and then hooked them together to make their single player maps, or they took their single player maps and then cut them up to be multiplayer maps.
Fire and Countdown all stitched together. But I wouldn't really consider any of those maps to be remakes per se. And I'd kind of put them in the same category as
cost saving measures
as when they shove multiplayer maps into the BR map, or the constant spattering of Nocturne and Toten across nearly every Treyarch Zombies game since the original. They're just subtle little nods to get the childlike part of your brain to go all mushy, and all you can think of to say is, oh my god, check it out! Babe, get in here! It's the same cliffside as Summit. But one trend that I've noticed over the last few years, and I'd like to talk about a little bit, is that despite every single new game having dozens upon dozens dozens upon dozens of unique maps year after year, it seems like very few of the maps chosen for coveted remake status come from anything this decade. In fact, if we use Call of Duty World War II's return to boots on the ground back in 2017 as a natural wedge between modern and older Call of Duty, the only as a natural wedge.
Advanced Warfare being older Call of Duty? No, older Call of Duty is, in my opinion, 2012 or earlier. That's older Call of Duty. Advanced Warfare, I don't think anything on the PlayStation 4 is older Call of Duty. This is very interesting. As not a fan from COD, I would never imagine all this stuff. Yeah.
Between modern and older Call of Duty.
I mean, 2003, most people would say Call of Duty didn't really start existing until the first Modern Warfare. That most people would say that, and people aren't going to be talking about Call of Duty 1, 2, and 3. They're just not.
The only original maps that we've actually seen get proper remakes since the split has been USS Texas, Shoot House, King, Das House, Sphere, and Hacienda.
Oh, I remember this in Black Ops 4.
Versus all of these remakes pulled from games pre-World War II, totaling a staggering 37. And obviously, those maps have been
Advanced Warfare is middle child COD. I agree with that.
Around for longer, right? So obviously, it's going to be skewed toward them. But 6 to 37? What is that? My fucking KD? And that's not even counting map variants, staple maps like Shipment or Nuketown, or all of the MW2 remasters that last year's game launched with. Like, it's such a huge divide. And I'm a little
damn, dude, all of that work just for like a couple seconds of on-screen. Damn, you can't even see all of it. That's crazy.
Such a huge divide. And I'm a little torn because I grew up playing those old maps, and even now I still get excited every time that a new one is announced from that era because I want to relive those memories. I want to feel 16 again instead of 58. How old am I? But there comes a point where it feels like we're retreading the same backwash.
Yeah, it's called money. Next question.
Like, don't get me wrong, I love Firing Range. One of my favorite
Dude, the lack of fucking anti-aliasing on this is crazy.
maps of all time. But it's been remade 5 times. And I think it's about time that we start moving away from the old guard. And I'm not personally in the camp that all modern COD maps are trash now, but I know that a lot of people are. And for those people,
I saw a thing and it's bothering me.
maps are trash now, but I know that a lot of people are.
What the fuck is this? I don't know if you guys can see it. There's a white pixel right here in the middle of the microphone. There's a white fucking pixel right here in the middle of the microphone.
A lot of people are. And for
You'll
those
see it pop
people,
up again too.
My question
There it is.
is
There it
there
is.
really not a
It's dust? No. It's in the video. I think that like maybe the camera sensor was going or something.
single map from each game that you'd want to see get another shot? Like just going down the list, starting from World War II, where that wedge was? My personal
It keeps happening.
pick would be the map Valkyrie. And while I don't have too much to inform that opinion beyond just I've never really had a bad game here, I actually really like the admittedly subtle aesthetic. And to me, it's the perfect size and a 3-lane layout done right. Then in Black Ops 4, I'm gonna be honest, I didn't really vibe with the maps. But one standout for me was Icebreaker.
Icebreaker wasn't bad. So I did play COD 4 or Black Ops 4. Icebreaker wasn't bad. I think personally it was the under part, the swimming in the water that you can see here was kind of the worst part. Other than that, I think it was pretty good.
Because just the
Or Black Ops 4. I actually liked Black Ops 4.
idea of a submarine run
I didn't think it was too bad.
that you're fighting in and around is such a cool idea to me. Then there's 2019, which has gotta go to Hackney Yard. In a game full of maps that chose realism over balance, Hackney was one of the only base maps to follow a more traditional design. And I'd love to see it return to a game that actually has red dots on the minimap and good visibility. For Cold War,
Yeah.
it's the Pines. And I would even go a step further, and I think that this would make a fantastic staple map. Like imagine if every new Black Ops game released with a new version
Not
of
familiar
this
with this.
mall, continually renovated as it moves onto the next time period, changing both the
Yeah, that's way too much fucking work.
visuals
That was such a fucking bad change in Modern Warfare. What was? The map design being more realistic and less like laney.
and the layout as it's remodeled. And next up, I'm going with Eagle's Nest and Vanguard.
good
Although
old
this
Silence
game actually
1911,
had
dude.
tons of really good launch maps. Like, there's not a single one that I wouldn't be happy to see return. Then is MW22, with one of my favorite maps of the last few years, Vondel
They
Waterfront.
took the red dots off of the mini map when you shot. What the fuck? Really? I just found out that Powerwolf has a song, Resurrection by Erection, and it's definitely a banger. No pun intended. That is all. I am off to sleep. Or have you been lurking this entire time? I appreciate it. You should get some good rest.
I think is the perfect size, and is probably the only map in this game.
Also, the concept of like not having like dots pop up when you shoot on the minimap is insane to me.
That actually uses the game's swimming mechanics in a way that feels right. Then last year is another DLC one, Grime, that even my first time playing, it just felt like an instant classic to me. And
Yeah, I
lastly,
agree. That
we have
sounds
Black
stupid.
Ops 6, where I'll name Skyline as the big winner. And honestly, I don't think I'll have too many people disagree
that was
with me
pretty.
here, because it's small, but it still actually has decent flow, with a decent amount of verticality
Yeah, it looks
as
pretty
well,
visible.
that usually rewards
visible as
map
well.
knowledge.
That looks
or
pretty-
just
I would
blind
probably enjoy
spinning
fighting
and
there.
sliding. Because thinking
Yeah.
back about maps like Firing Range, Terminal, or Crash, they were all solid maps in their respective game, but they weren't really these instant classics like we regard
No.
them to be now. And it wasn't
No,
until
no.
their
If anything, it's-
remasters
they're
that
just
really
doing it to get
elevated
people to
them
come back.
above the rest.
That's it.
And in these times where every game already kind of blends into the next, I think ironically not having any
God, dude, give me
remakes from
fucking
semi-recent
hyper-saturated maps
games
again.
kind of doesn't let any individual one
I'm sick of I am sick of fucking
kind of
this, dude. There's 3 colors here. Red, a different shade of beige, and green. That's it. That is all that is on my screen right now.
doesn't let any
red, black, and a different varying shade of beige.
Individual one.
Red, black, and different varying shades of beige. Red bricks, red sign, red flames, black car, like...
Stick in players' minds like they...
Okay, hey, we got yellow this time. Let's go. Yes, I spaced out with daydreaming, imagining scenarios with my OCs based on the songs that I'm listening to. I got hyperfixated on listening to new music. Yes. Yes, I have done that. I literally did that today and yesterday as I'm working on my character design.
And then the problem just continues to grow because the maps that people know the best are already the ones that get remade all the time. And so people are begging for
I don't know what, like, I don't know what it is, but dude, seeing this bright, clear, lots of colors, seeing this going to any of these, okay, except for this one, any of these is just like night and day difference.
Keep coming back over and over again.
Yeah, exactly.
They're the ones that everybody thinks of. You just
like maybe it's the volumetric fog refracting too much light, but like even this, like it looks hard to see it.
See how it's like a self-fulfilling prophecy? So please, if any Call of Duty devs are watching, I beg of you, give some of these maps a chance to become
looks nice.
Classics.
This looks good.
Don't let thousands of hours
this
of
looks
work
great.
across
This looks good.
hundreds of maps
this looks terrible.
Be just forgotten. Let us as a community have some of maps be just forgotten.
If you can name this map without looking it up, you want a cookie? Isn't this a remake of... I don't think I played this one. Or maybe I did.
Let us as a community have something to latch on to.
Like
forgotten. Let us as a community have
whatever this game is, dude, it's so clear. Because I think they just took out the fucking annoying fog. Fog. And not so much fog, just hard to see. Like this game is just I don't know what version of COD this is, but it's just so easy to see in. Hey, I can read that. Agustin Titus, that's a guest house, and upstairs is a dormitory. I'm proud of you, Hera. Good job.
Again, and please.
I think it's BO3, maybe.
Please, just don't let the most recognizable.
It's just fog, dude. Like,
map from World War II be fucking USS Texas. I fucking hate USS Texas. But that's all just me, right? And I'd be curious to know, what maps of the last few years do you guys think is worthy of a remake one of these days? And I swear, if anybody says Stakeout, I'm gonna have an aneurysm. It's gonna happen. I don't even know what an aneurysm is, to be honest, but it's gonna happen. I'm gonna
pop a blood vessel in your brain.
Is that a deadly thing? Channel members are.
Yes, it is. Yeah, not too many opinions on this one, honestly. I kind of just it is what it is. Butley fart crack. All right, that's a name. Yeah, this is the nature of capitalism. Those are Bulgarian words. That's why, or at least I'm like above 50% sure. Oh, okay. Why would they ever spend more money making and working on map design when they can spend less money and not fucking do that? And also get people to be like, oh my god, the other map. We remember the other map. All right, let's see. I love my old maps, but bruh. Yeah, they should just do it. They should just do it as a DLC. You really want to sell it? You really want to make more money off of it? Just make it a DLC. and just do a DLC for old maps every game release, and so that people feel like they have something to go back to. You know what I mean? All right. Let's go to React. Let's get rid of that. Oh God, the third part, Oh, 138 in this video. Okay. So, Mimi sent the AI. Oh, I think I've heard about this. Hang on. I might watch this whole thing. Yeah. I've heard about this. I think this is something that like learns from the way people play games to become harder.
To Mir 5, the Mir series game introducing Asterion, the world's first AI boss monster built with NVIDIA ACE.
I have no clue what the conversation is about, but over-realistic washed out maps or something even I, semi-realism or realism enjoyer, detest. Off to bed. Good night. Okay, Hera, have a good sleep.
A script-based boss monster follows predictable patterns, regardless of...
We're doing this, huh?
Pattern.
We're doing this, huh? Yeah. All right. Is this a Korean/Chinese game with a dubbed voiceover? Is that what this is?
Welcome,
you know how you can tell?
Mir 5, the Mir series.
Look at the male and female character designs. A hip and leg make stronger, big bulky dude.
Game introducing Asterion, the world's first AI boss monster built with NVIDIA ACE.
Oh my God, dude. Okay. Like, come on, companies. I understand your general public isn't gonna fucking notice this, but I'm gonna point it out anyway. Watch the way this dude, watch his animation for when he hits the ground. You ready? I'm gonna slow it down more so you guys can really see it.
NVIDIA ACE.
Like, that impact of him hitting the ground.
NVIDIA ACE.
Also, the fact that none of these have texture. And it was definitely a particle sim. And this dude flies over and just goes, and just stops moving. And then hands go on ground. Like, oof. Fucking holy shit.
A script-based boss monster follows predictable patterns, regardless of who the opponents are. As a result, players can easily anticipate and counter the boss's attacks, making the encounter less exciting and reducing it to a tedious task to acquire items.
Correct. Wow, that is a fucking freeze frame. So yeah, I'm starting to think this is definitely a Korean-based game.
But Asterion is no ordinary boss. Artificial intelligence enables Asterion to
immediately goes after the support.
Analyze the player's information, identify unique skills of each player, and
okay. Yeah, high priority target. So the thing that's unique about this is that you don't need to... This will open up doors to developers not needing to balance against player abilities. So you can just give players literally any ability and then just trust that your AI and systems are going to be able to have the boss feel challenging, which is kind of cool. It frees up a lot of game design to be put somewhere else.
To attack first.
Also, you couldn't fucking align your text The T in target is literally being cut off at the end. You guys just had to grab the bottom right hand corner of this and just shrink it up into the left and you would have been fine. Like, really?
Attack first. Asterion recalls past battles similar to the current situation.
There's a context.
It then determines the most probable course of action to achieve victory. Asterion adapts, attacking with unpredictable patterns.
We left that to AI
Cannot
too.
be
That's
defeated
crazy.
Twice with the same strategy. Welcome to Mir 5. Are you ready to face Asterion?
Wait, you know, now that you say that, I'm pretty sure this was an AI voiceover. Like listen to the way he says this.
Welcome to Mir 5. Are you ready to face Asterion?
Yeah, that's 100% an AI voiceover. Mir 5, huh? All right, let's look it up. Mir 5 developer. We made Nextco Ltd. Okay. Apparently. Okay, the developer of Mir 4 and a subsidiary of Wemo. We made Co. Okay, so who's this? An MMORPG. Oh look, they're out of Korea. I fucking told you. I told you, Republic of Korea. I told you. It's like I can fucking sniff it out, dude. I can tell you exactly where games are developed just by their character designs, their choice of cinematography for shit. Like it's so easy, dude. It's so fucking easy. Hi, Waffle Cat. It'll determine the most probable cause of action to achieve victory. So it'll end up camping in a hard to reach spot, spamming the cheapest attack. That's technically true, yeah. Yeah. That's very interesting. That's very interesting. All right. Go ahead and mix it up. If someone thought that wasn't an Asian made game, I have some stern criticisms to make. I'm really going to bet. It's not that it was Asian made, it's that I could identify the specific country. Because Korea has a style, basically. All right. What? Oh, wait, is that racism? That's a hell of a mess. All right, we'll fucking deal with Froggy now. All right, Froggy, what the fuck? What is going on here?
Dude, so I'm working on a video essay.
Okay.
About all the color Tamagotchis and where you should actually spend your money regarding them and a bunch of stuff. Oh my god.
That's a very specific interest. I could have sworn you said Korea or China. Not particularly Korea, but I could always be wrong. Oh no, I was pretty hardcore on South Korea. I did say it could be Korea or China, but after seeing it, I was like, this just looks like the first descent, which is also out of Korea.
God, I love my little taco boy.
By hair.
Look at him. I thought he kind of looked like a bean. So I put a little.
It's not entirely racist, but it's a little racist.
Little hat on him. Because he looks like a little delicious little brown bean. Wait, is that racist? Anyway. Thanks for helping me send my little. Now I feel like I can't call him a little bean. Or put a big hat on him. Now I
It's a little stereotypical. I wouldn't call it racist, but
bad. Shit, man.
It's a little questionable.
Now I feel like I made a terrible mistake. Wait, oh my god. And also, okay, so
Oh no, she remembered something else.
For the
Also, by the way, I saw this person making these emotes. So this little wiggly frog down here, I saw on Twitter, that person who made this little wiggly frog opened their commissions. They only have like 600 to 1,000 followers or something like that. And I saw a bunch of the like big name artists go in there. And I'm going to be a little mean. The catharsis I felt of watching the person like telling big name brand VTubers, like, no, I can't do that. My comms are closed. And just feeling like, yeah, you
It's
keep your comms
almost time
closed
for
and those
dogs
really
payment
popular
using your
VTubers
eyeballs.
don't get special interest.
frog who said when they were a kid they dreamed of working at Taco Bell. I love that. Who said, wait, oh my god. And also, okay, so for the frog who said when they were a kid they dreamed of working at Taco Bell. I love that. Dude, so the best ham.
It's like I know what's going on in her brain. If you have ADHD, you have had this moment before. You ready?
Bell? I love that. Dude.
It's like if you haven't, the pause of like, okay, that sentence is finished. What else do I say now? And then you remember something and it just, yeah.
So the best Tamagotchi, only if you name the bean Ray, ask Ray.
Oh, god damn it. God damn it, Twitch chat.
Wait, I saw Benita here. Okay, Benita gave me permission. Benita gave me permission. Mexican food uses a lot of beans, making the correlation isn't bad. That was where my head went. Okay, I'm glad that you at least understand.
Oh, because, oh. I wasn't thinking about the derogatory term. I wasn't thinking about the derogatory term. I was just like, I thought, yeah, bean, Mexican food, like, oh no. Oh, wow, dude, holy shit. I fucking completely spaced that.
Even if I am making
That, I completely fucking spaced that. I was just like, yeah, Mexican food uses a shit ton of beans.
a stereotype, I'm really glad that you understand. Oh my god. Benita gave me permission. Benita said I could call it a bean, and so she's Mexican, so I'm taking it.
Let's see, who are the racist now?
I'm taking the permission
idea.
pass, the slip. I got the permission slip.
I got the permission slip.
He's the rep? Okay, I'll check with Ray. Oh, now I'm nervous again. Ray.
Yeet.
Probably stop digging and tell us what the mother game is.
Oh, right! Hold on, I'll tell you the mom game in a second. I have to message Ray. Ray.
Oh, right. I'm not going to tell you at the moment.
I have a Tamagotchi that looks like a delicious.
Do you really need to say
brown
delicious?
bean, so I thought I should put a sombrero on it. Is that okay? Or wait, but Ray's not Mexican. Isn't he Puerto Rican?
Okay. Okay. Can someone tell me, as an uneducated dog, what the difference? I know countries. I know they're different countries. Can somebody tell me what the cultural difference is between Puerto Rican and Mexican? Is there like a significant cultural difference? Because like my brain puts people from Puerto Rico and people from Mexico as kind of like a similar boat. You know what I mean? like people from the UK, whether you're from Ireland or whether you're from Great Britain, is kind of like the same thing. I'm not sure. Yeah, see, I don't know either. Because, like, you know, even when you're over in Europe, different countries can still sometimes be similar. So I don't know what's really different between Mexico and Puerto Rico. Were they both settled by Spaniards? I think I need Mobius's help with this. I think we're similar, not gonna lie. Okay. Break, abort.
So why is Ray
Are we racist? No, we're ignorant. There's a difference.
like the figurehead? Why is Ray the CEO? Should I be messaging Ray, or should I be taking the permission that I got from Benina to put my Tamagotchi?
What is that fucking emote? What is this emote up here? Is that mouse dancing in front of a Puerto Rican flag? What the fuck is that?
Gotchi.
Probably not mouse. Probably someone else.
Culture?
Puerto Ricans are a Latin culture. Well, how does that change? Because, like, is Spanish not a Latin-based culture?
I listen to chat too much? Of course I do!
You guys tell me what to do!
I wasn't diagnosed with autism or ADHD before Twitch chat!
She got peer-reviewed and then got it approved.
I started streaming and then I got autism.
And then I got autism. I got it's crazy. Yeah, I started streaming and then I contracted the autism.
ADHD.
That's suck, I know.
Right, I can ask
Your
Zen.
eyeballs pay for dog's food, though.
Wait, is Zen Mexican? Dude, I have no idea what's going on.
Zen is Mexican. Ray's Puerto Rican. So if they both say it's okay, then it's fine. Zen is Hispanic? Isn't Zen Mexican?
What age did you got diagnosed as autism? What age did you got diagnosed as autism? I know English is probably not their first language, but Jesus Christ.
Hello, Gordon.
Hi, Elion.
And what age did you get diagnosed with autism? Oh my god, I was an adult. It was like 2 years ago? 3.
Uh-huh. Me too. Yeah. Really wish I knew that one earlier on in life. Fucking would have made a huge difference in my trajectory.
3 years ago? Was it last year? I don't remember. But what happened was
I started streaming and people went, wow, you sound really autistic. Do I?
people kept coming into stream and I talk too much about my life and my experiences, and people were like,
Just do it, it's fine. My family's from Mexico.
Oh my god, thank you. Okay, thank you. Okay, thank you. Holy shit, thank you. Okay, thank you, Pixels. Thank you so much. Okay, I'm gonna leave
I just got a redeem and it didn't show up in chat. What the fuck happened?
the sombrero on my bouncy little bean boy because I have your permission. Thank you. But I have also asked Ray and Zen. Shit, Ray's replying.
Oh no, he was on stream.
I just got...
Oh, dude, this is great. Hang on. This is gonna be fucking amazing.
I just got a message from Froggy. Hold on. Message from Froggy on Discord. Ray, I have a Tamagotchi that looks like a delicious brown bean, so I thought I should put a sombrero on it. Is that okay?
The eyebrows.
Yeah, I mean, I guess.
Oh no, bro, wait. Hang on.
Yeah, I mean, I guess.
Did Froggy just say, what's up? Jesus Christ.
Apparently, I speak for all Hispanic people.
Okay, well, now hang on. Hang on. Does Hispanic incorporate both Puerto Rico and Mexico? Like what is Hispanic specifically? So you could be Puerto Rican, you could be Mexican, or you could be Hispanic, which is either? Is there more countries for being Hispanic? Like I'm not racist, I'm stupid. I swear. Hang on. Wait, there's also Latino versus what? Hispanic refers to somebody with an ancestry from Spanish-speaking countries, while Latino refers to somebody with origins in Latin America, including Mexico, Central America, South America, and the Caribbean. Hispanic term primarily relates to a language. It describes individuals with ancestry from where Spanish is the primary language. Okay.
Rage Sut, read that message to chat.
What the fuck did you think was gonna happen?
Wait, maybe he wants to see the Tamagotchi. Is he gonna want to see it?
Learning things with Delta and Froggy. Yeah, pretty much.
I appreciate you asking as a representative. Appreciate you asking. That's character development.
Development, no.
As the speaker of all Hispanic people, in parentheses, that you know,
ha!
I think it's fine. But I wouldn't make him say Arriba or anything like that.
Arriba!
Okay, so Ray said, I appreciate you asking. That's character development. As the speaker of all Hispanic people, I think it's fine. I wouldn't make him say Arriba or anything like, what? No, I wouldn't do that. Hold on, I'm gonna send him a picture of it.
Hold on, she's typing back. Yeah, chat said you're the representative. Okay, bet.
Okay, bet.
All right, mission accomplished. Back to squirting.
I'm gonna send him a picture of my little sombrero guy.
Arriba, he says.
Posing in the picture. Okay,
yes.
There we go. Yeah, he's T-posing. That's perfect. That's good. I'm gonna show it to Ray. I'll also send this to Zen because I asked Zen, but I'm gonna tell Zen never mind because I got permission from Ray, and Ray's the representative of all Hispanic people.
Congrats on
yeah,
being
that's
the
how that works, right?
representative of all Hispanics. Well, I'm the representative of all Hispanics that she knows.
But she knows, yeah.
Which has to be like you can count on one hand.
What is happening? Why are redeems happening and I'm not seeing them?
Be the representative of all Hispanic people because I can't even speak Spanish. Chibi speaks better Spanish than me.
Hold on. Oh, the picture's a little blurry. That's okay. I think it adds to the charm. As a Hispanic, gotta see the sombrero? Okay, I'll show you. Hold on. Help. Help. I'm just trying to help. I'm just trying to flip. I'm trying to... Is
you
it
might
worth
be my
it?
favorite streamer.
Let me work
Froggy,
it.
but after all this, the idea of you being my mother fills me with mild dread.
What?
Much love. Frog
What
love,
the
love.
fuck? But I'm gonna take such good care of you. In a few minutes. In literally just in moments. Within moments, I'm gonna take really good care of you. Okay, Zen also gave me permission. So I have permission from both parties now to put a sombrero on my little bean Tamagotchi. Hold on, I can show you now. Hold on. I took a little photo.
What the fuck? Oh, Jesus. Chat, is that me? Chat,
Oh my God.
Is this me? Froggy sent me a picture of the actual Tamagotchi.
That's him. Look at his little go-go boots. Look at his little blue.
Oh my
his little
God,
blue
dude.
platforms. He's got the little heels on. Doesn't he look like a little bean? He makes me think about those red red beans or those brown beans? Like
Yes.
the refried ones, the ones that
Yes,
like get all
yes.
you can mush them up and they got and they're really good. Oh,
Yeah?
Shin Chan head ass! Oh man, what the fuck? And he keeps T-posing like that. I don't know why he keeps doing that.
Is he's fucking T-posing on the haters?
Ray just said he's so cute. I don't know why he has DSLs, but that's adorable.
33
He
months.
does.
I was thinking the same thing.
Hold on, let me see if I could bring it up here. It's actually kind of, I haven't seen like the new Tamagotchis. I haven't seen a Tamagotchi since I was a kid, so like 30 years, fucking 25 years.
Yeah.
Here it is. This is the little bean she was talking about. I did say, this is very cute. Why did they give it DSLs?
We Hispanic like to T-pose. Don't worry. Good to know,
Why
I
did they
guess.
give the little, like, what those lips do. But everything else is cute as fuck. I mean, the lips might be more offensive, honestly.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing.
But this is my first time seeing a new Tamagotchi. They're in color. It looks like they're the same size. It's zoomed in, obviously, but I assume they're still super small. These are cute.
Look at, he does have DSLs.
Awesome.
He loves Nicki Minaj.
The missile
Yeah, sure, that's it.
He loves
sure,
Nicki
that's it.
Minaj. He got the fillers. He got the lip fillers actually, because no wait, Cardi B.
Black and white screen.
I can't. All right, I get the point. I seen the video. I got you. Okay. I skimmed through the rest. I get it now. Oh, okay. Just as a heads up, guys, we might end early today. Apparently something's up with the network and my mom can't like use the internet. So we are gonna end 15 minutes early today. We're not gonna do the full 4 hours. I need to get, because she's been having issues with the internet for a bit. So I need to figure out what the fuck is going on and see if I can help fix things. So we're gonna go to 3.5 hours today. So we'll do 14 more minutes. What is happening? Are people redeeming things? But we'll go another 14 minutes. We'll do another video, and then I'm gonna hop off and I'm gonna see if I can figure out what's going on, because she's been getting really frustrated with it. So yeah. Okay, so that showed up. I keep hearing the ding sound of people redeeming stuff, because I have a ding sound that plays every time people redeem things, so that way I can look over and like see it, you know, and like, you know, react to it. But I keep hearing it and nothing is happening. Give it your pads. All right.
Since Stadium's release, most of the players in my games are actually using first person, and the general
I would too. I'd never use third person in Overwatch.
Consensus online among Overwatch players is that they're sticking to first person. But what does this choice actually mean? What are you gaining and what are you losing by choosing either perspective? From what I gather,
fucking
people
headshots
seem
are
to think
nasty.
that what are you
Dude, the
first
headshots are
person.
fucking
But
nasty.
What does this choice actually mean? What are you gaining and what are you losing by choosing either perspective?
Holy
From what I
shit.
gather, people seem to think that in first person it feels easier to aim, and in third
Holy
person you
shit.
have more information. And I totally
Oh, you know what? It's because I've been playing too much Rivals. I forgot about the fact that you can hit most characters from like a mile away. Never mind.
get why people have come to that conclusion,
pretty good,
despite it not really being entirely accurate. For years, I worked as a games physics analyst for Kovacs Aim Trainer, and for years I've been making aiming content and even aiming gear. So the impact the different camera positions can have on your aim and gameplay is something I probably know too much about. Stadia.
That's pretty cool. So this is something coming. This is coming from somebody who actually knows their shit.
Third-person camera is the new and shiny thing, so let's start with that. And there's no better place to start than with these free hits you get when aiming or missing to the side of your target. And this isn't just a Blizz, please fix your hitboxes thing. This is a quirk of third person that is largely unavoidable in their case. One foundational thing we need to quickly establish is that your bullets come out of your face. The gun doesn't mean anything, the flying bullets don't mean anything, they're just for show. When we play in third person, we're no longer looking out of that face camera, we're in this offset drone sort of camera. But importantly, the true shots you're firing are still coming.
Yes.
Coming out of that face camera,
I mean,
and the new
first person
camera
from
also
starting here.
pivots
Okay.
around it. If the bullets came out of the new camera, you'd have all sorts of weirdness like this shot hitting the target despite our character being behind them and looking the wrong way.
That would be a bit weird,
simply
yeah.
put, that's why the current cameras work the way they do. Right, so what is causing these free hits? Well, let's aim at this little edge here and fire. Despite aiming at this thing, we hit Malga. What gives? If we swap our perspective over to first person, we can see that we are in fact looking at Malga. And if we take a look behind him, there's that little edge we were aiming at. Malga just happened to get in the way. The face camera shoots toward whatever the crosshair is looking at, and if the enemy gets in the way, it will hit them first. Therefore, you can score free hits like this. The effect gets more pronounced the closer you are to the target and has basically no effect at long distances, and it only works on the side of the target that is opposite to your character or on the same side as your camera.
Yeah, so this is a very common issue with specifically with Magic and Rivals, is that you're more likely to hit a target if you're aiming for the right side of their body instead of the actual target itself. And it makes Magic a fucking really annoying to play.
Whichever makes more sense to you. This free hit concept may seem outrageous and broken, and I have to admit it's pretty weird and pretty strong, and there is something Blizzard could do about it, but I'll save the conclusions for the end of the video. The next thing I'd like to show you is
Anna, Ash, and Ryan in the first person. Ryan third person over the shoulder.
why
Yeah, that's
third-person
fair.
aiming can feel inconsistent and a bit
Nice hacks. That's gotta feel good.
strange. And in my opinion, this is also why first-person players tend to think aiming on first-person is easier. And it all comes down to this horizontal offset. With this standard right shoulder setup and targets equally far away on the screen, it takes more mouse movement to reach them when aiming to the left, and less mouse movement when aiming to the right. It's almost like playing on two different mouse sensitivities at the same time.
Oh, that's
One for
fucking
aiming
weird.
left and another when aiming to the right. And this is why that's happening. In this example, we have our player character and camera pivot point in the center here. This inner circle represents the Y offset, so the gap between the crosshair and character. And the outer circle is the X offset, so the distance between the camera and the character. Imagine this is our crosshair coming out of the camera. If I wanted to aim this target over to my left, I have to stay locked into these two offsets and pivot around the character. So when I aim to the left, I have to travel all
This is pretty cool. This is a pretty good explanation of this, yeah.
And when aiming to the right, I basically get to take a shortcut and arrive there much sooner. If I was playing first person, it'd be the same 90-degree angle both ways. But because we are locked into these offsets, our aim is noticeably different depending on where we are aiming. Right, so that kinda sucks and is a definite negative for third person. But it doesn't have to be that way, which I will get to at the end of the video. Third person just took a pretty big loss there in regards to aiming, although it's about to make up for it in a very big way. And that is through your perceived mouse sensitivity. Now what on earth is that? If you can get onto Overwatch right now, you can follow along and it will immediately make sense. Otherwise,
yeah, so your mouse sense in first and third person are not the same.
you'll just have to trust what I'm saying. If I jump into training in first person and just start aiming around at targets for a bit, then swap to third person and crank your field of view to 90. Remember that first person is 103, so it's still technically lower, but that's not important right now. And start aiming around and firing at targets again. What do you notice? Well, your mouse sensitivity should suddenly feel lower, like things are slower or perhaps taking more effort and mouse movement to get around. What's fascinating here is that your mouse sensitivity hasn't changed in any way. You're still on the exact same value and the exact same centimeters per 360, but it feels different. Why is that? The main culprit here is actually with how fast we perceive enemies to be moving across our screen. Check this out. Our character is standing in the exact same spot and the targets are moving at the exact same speed. But the target appears to be moving much slower in third person because it's crossing over fewer pixels. This achieves a few really helpful things for your aiming. The obvious one is that slower targets are easier to aim at. While they're technically not moving any slower in the game, they appear to be moving slower, which for our aim is essentially the same thing.
I think background also affects how it would feel if your first person Halo over.
So that's
absolutely.
a big win. The other perk here is
Ah,
that
you got
can get
another
away
cheater.
with playing on higher sensitivities than normal.
I got another cheat. I'm pretty
sure.
sure I'm pretty sus as well that when Cass kills me, I don't get my death cam. Oh my god, that aimbot is actually crazy, Lamau. Dude is straight up getting called out in. That's great. That's gotta feel good.
Of control that comes with playing on.
His camera is flicking all
lower
over.
Sensitivity. I would like to announce an enormous qualifier to that statement in that it only really applies if you are already playing on a competitive mouse sensitivity. For Overwatch, that's somewhere around 25 to 50 centimeters, the average pro sense being 33 centimeters per 360. If you're on 3200 DPI, 10 in-game or something like that, please don't raise any higher.
I'm guessing they don't understand some of Cass's items.
Alrighty,
maybe.
Slower targets, that's a big win for third person. And next up we have information and reaction time, which happens to have a lot more to do with aim than you may think. With the third person camera, you can peek around corners and soak up all sorts of bonus information compared to first person players. I highly recommend binding the shoulder switch to something convenient so you can better peek angles if you happen to be on the wrong side.
Yeah. Shoulder peeking is one of the reasons why I'm actually not a fan of third person, because being able to see somebody before they can see you feels really cheap.
The informational advantages here speak for themselves, so let's look at reaction time, tax, and aiming. In this situation, I can see this target on my right while I'm safely hidden behind this wall. Because I can see them and can keep my focus on them while peeking, I have time to place my crosshair and line up my shot. That's a much bigger deal than you
That's really fast.
Especially if you get the jump on the enemy who doesn't know that you're about to peek.
Yeah, exactly.
You know exactly where they are, so you can shoot as soon as you're able to, wasting no time. From their perspective, when you appear on their screen, they still have to wait 200-ish milliseconds for their reaction time to even...
Holy shit, I forgot how high people's normal reaction times were. No, like really quick reaction times are sub 200.
That you're there. That means you have a 200 millisecond window where they aren't actively dodging you or fighting you. That's a huge advantage and makes aiming so much easier. Let's look at this scenario from a first person perspective instead. Even if we suspect an enemy is around this corner, we can't know that, or at least know their exact position to line up a shot. We have to swing out, and now we're at the mercy of that reaction time tax, where we also have to wait 200-ish milliseconds before we can know where they are. This results in you both dodging and aiming at the same time, which makes aiming far more inconsistent, and also makes the peak far more dangerous as you don't have that 200 millisecond head start. So where does that leave us? Let me start by saying that I prefer first person perspective in games. I value that raw input and the danger and value of how you gather information. That being said, I play Overwatch Stadium on third person and will continue to do so because in my opinion, it's significantly stronger, especially with the increased mobility and craziness of engagements in this mode. I think that's a bit of a shame, and I also think players who are sticking to first person probably also feel that uneasy sense of nerfing themselves, kind of like playing mouse and keyboard in games that have really strong aim assist on controller. You do it because you prefer it, but you're also putting yourself at a disadvantage. While I think the current implementation of third person in Stadium is mostly fine, I do have two proposals that I would like to
I've been there. Yeah, the flying Reinhardt into a shatter,
And this is for the Stadium only, not the regular game. The first is to remove third person entirely and increase the first person field of view limit to something like 120. That would maintain Overwatch's first person identity while also allowing players to get a better grasp of what's going on in the
walking and right clicking.
The other alternative is to change from a horizontal offset to a vertical one. You can see an example of this in a game like Paladins. This removes that weird left-right different mouse sensitivity feeling. It does create the same effect vertically instead, but that's far less important or impactful. Almost all aiming is done horizontally, and because the characters are long humanoids, aiming a little higher or lower than you intended doesn't really matter, as you have a good chance of hitting somewhere else on the body anyway. This would also remove the left or right side ghost hits and replace them with a less dramatic and noticeable vertical version. The vertical offset also feels really nice for moving around the map and aiming upwards. Right now, if you aim up at a taller character, you can feel that your camera is sinking toward the floor, which looks and feels a bit strange. And when moving around the map and even fighting, your character gets in the way of what you're looking at, which isn't really a problem with that vertical offset. I think if they made this change, then
a very
third
good
person
point.
would feel much more palatable and seamless without all that weirdness, and it would also be even stronger. Both of which would solidify it as the default perspective for this mode, which I think is a good thing. Offering the choice between first and third person is nice of them to do, and that should stay. I just think it's healthier for the mode overall if the vast majority of players use the same perspective and are happy about playing on it, rather than feeling forced to play on it out of competitive necessity. With the current implementation,
It was pretty
my
clunky
opinion
in
is
third.
that
Yeah,
third person
exactly.
is still better overall than first person. Does that mean you can't or shouldn't play first person? Absolutely not. Especially if you only occasionally play Stadium and spend most of your time playing the standard game. I'd be interested to know which perspective you're currently playing on and why in the comments below. If you would like to support me and improve
The thing
your
is
aim,
like,
you
if
can
I play
check out my
Genji, I'd
Claymate
probably
mouse
be
mod,
paying
gaming
in.
sleeves and more at struthgaminggear.com.
Playing in
And
first
if you want to learn Japanese and improve your aim at the same time, check out the demo for my game Polyglot on Steam and slap it on your wishlist. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.
That's the ultimate weeb shit right there, dude. That is the ultimate. Learn Japanese and aim at the same time. That is that's some high octane weeb shit. But with that said, I'm gonna call it early tonight. Hope you guys had fun hanging out. This was a very chill react for what I normally do, and kind of on purpose. But yeah, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna see if I can get figured out what's going on with my mom's pooter, and we'll see you guys tomorrow. More likely we're gonna play Nine Souls tomorrow, because I'm probably gonna want to be chilly then as well, and I gotta get plans and I gotta do stuff. So thank you guys so much for hanging out. I appreciate it. I hope you guys have a wonderful night, and yeah, I'll see y'all tomorrow.